It's 7 p.m. Bass and slow. I'm going to sing the only song I know. It's time for the glorified version of a bass fishing talk show. I'm your host, Pat Renwick, and now it is Stray Cats Outdoor Cartoon Television time on a Wednesday. Yeah, Bassin' Wednesdays. Bassin' Wednesdays. Get it while it's hot. Get it while you can. Hey, welcome back. How you guys feeling? How's the room feeling today?
Great.
JP, yell.
I'm doing good.
Yell at the top of your lungs. Yeah. Hey,
Don't
Andy, yell at the top of your lungs.
Yeah.
Andy, yell. The energy must come up. The energy must. Yes, there it is. There. This show is filmed before a live studio audience. Live studio audience, thank you very much. Let's hear it. Kapow, kapoom. I'm winding like a top. Yes. That's how you bass fish and talk show. Hey, in case you can't tell, we are wound up. And that happens on Wednesday nights, especially when we get the best personalities as well as bass fishermen in the galaxy. And tonight, we kick it off with the one and only Chris Zaldain coming on the show first. That's correct. Chris Zaldain. Yes. We had Chris on a little while ago during the Ronas, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's still Ronas, but you know what I mean. Lockdown Rona. Lockdown breakdown Rona.
Correct.
And but it's time. It's time to talk to Chris. And I want to talk fall bassin', fall patterns with Chris Zaldain. And if you haven't noticed, I'm growing a beard because I want to be like my buddy, a couple of my buddies. But the next guest after Chris that comes on tonight is like when I think of beards, I think of this guy. So a couple days ago, I started growing this beard, and in honor of our second guest, Mr. Luke Dunkin. Yes, Luke Dunkin. The man. LD and his lowlifers. And then a mystery guest as well. Mystery guest, yes. Do you believe it? Who do you think the mystery guest is? Guess.
Popcorn Whitaker?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Dang it. The mystery guest. No, but there's a mystery guest coming along with Luke Dunkin, and Luke doesn't even know. And it's not who you think it is, as usual, here on Stray Cats. Yes, and speaking of Popcorn Whitaker, Ryan is doing boat trailer stuff, so he'll be zooming in at the end. But what I do want to remind you is that Stray Cast on Wednesday nights is the place to win free stuff. Like and share the live Facebook feed. It's that easy. All you got to do is like and share the live Facebook feed. And JP, hi, what do they got to do to win? I mean, what do we got? What's on the menu tonight?
Well, what they got to do is like and share.
Like and share, yeah.
Take it off privates.
Take it off privates.
And we're giving away an awesome pack of War Eagle lures.
War Eagles.
Maybe one of those buzz toads. Maybe one of those screaming eagles.
Ooh, you never know.
You never know.
A $50 pack, and it is almost spinnerbait season. Well, it's always spinnerbait season, but fall notoriously is a winding time of the year, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, bait fish.
Wouldn't you say?
Boom.
Hey, JP, you've been fishing good.
Have I?
Yeah, I think.
Thank you.
I think you're dialed in, and you have a beard too that you started growing a couple days ago for Luke Dunkin.
That's right.
So we're all
not as glorious.
No, it's not definitely.
I don't think mine ever
Luke
will
has a family of parakeets that live in his beard, and no one even knows it. That's how glorious his beard is. He also gives back to the environment by housing parakeets in his beard. So no one will beat that gloriousness.
Not raccoons.
Well, no. Let's talk about them later. I can't handle that anymore right now. But JP, hi. Like and share the live Facebook feed, right? And that's your chance to win $50 worth of War Eagle custom lures.
That's right.
Spinnerbaits, buzzbaits, whatever it may be.
So easy. Do it.
It's so easy.
Do it.
Just like Guns N' Roses said, right?
That's right.
You know who used to play bass on the first two Guns N' Roses studio albums?
Duff McKagan.
Not our producer. Ladies and gentlemen, He's the punk rock producer, engineer. He's red on the head like a producer should be. And he's producing the snot out of this thing back there.
Trying.
5 years, Andrew Ellenberger. 5 years of production and engineering on the Stray Cast show.
We almost got it.
Yeah, I'm like, what? I mean, how many episodes is that? 600, and the lights are weird in my eyes tonight, by the way. But how many episodes you think we've done? If you had to guess,
I think we're like 170 right now.
For real?
I think so.
Like you've
I've counted. Yeah.
Okay, 170.
Maybe.
Wow.
It could be.
Where does time go? Like I So that's like 6 episodes a year we do, dude. I mean, that's a lot if you do the math. So crazy, Andy. It's crazy stuff. So I have to ask you right now, Andrew Ellenberger, what is your favorite part about the Stray Cast show?
The live show?
Yeah, the live show, yeah.
Just getting to know the anglers on the other side of what we see.
Aha. I like that.
The real side.
The real side.
It's fun.
Yeah, the real side.
Because they're just like us, and it's fun to see.
Sometimes they're crazier.
Well, sometimes it's awesome to see the candid side. That's for sure.
Sometimes they're crazier. But yeah, I agree. It's that other side, and that's kind of why we started out doing this, to give people another look at things. Speaking of another look at things, there's a new way to look at tournament fishing and a new way to look at an ability to find spots to go fishing, and that's Half a Spot Official. Mm-hmm. So if you have not downloaded the Half a Spot Official application on your iPhone or on your Android device, do so, please. Go to your app store and download it. There's virtual kayak derbs online. There's kid derbs. I know they're working hand in hand with the Ike and Ellie's and the Ike Foundation now at Half a Spot. So check out the Half a Spot page on Instagram, Facebook, or of course halfaspot.com. Special shout out. Hey, JP. JP.
What's up, man?
Hey, you know who my favorite college fishing team is?
Purdue.
It's Purdue. Yeah. Absolutely, it's Purdue.
Oh, you gave me that one. That was a layup.
Right there. And shout out to our guy Sam Ryan.
Yeah,
for the
big Prez over there.
Yeah, big Prez Sam Ryan for the cool Purdue shirt here today. Thank you very much, Sam Ryan, and of course Danny. Our bud Danny is a member of the Purdue Bassin team.
Captain Mohan.
Captain Mohan. Yep. Purdue Bassin. Hey, I want to tell everybody that. Oh, okay. Thanks, Ginge. So, Ginge, I know that you were recently all up in Carl's. You were all up in shopcarls.com, weren't you?
Way up in it.
Yeah, way up in there. What's going on at Carl's right now?
Get in the Carl's Club.
Okay.
$49 a year, something like that.
$49 a year to become a Carl's Club member.
20% on everything.
Right off the kapuchka.
And then
right there.
And then free shipping on everything.
And free shipping.
It's silly if you don't, because you're not saving money.
So does that free shipping on stealth jackhammers as well?
Maybe bought them all out.
They might be there or they might not be there.
Doubt it now.
So, shopcarls.com. If you are not a member of the Shop Carls Club, now's the time. Head on over there and you get all kinds of discounts on the good goods, and especially the stealth jackhammers when they get back in stock, since Andy shelved them. Thanks, Andy.
My bad.
Thanks, Andy. Way to go on
Fall
that.
bite is on, man.
What are you going to do? Speaking of fall bite is on, I just want to take a moment to remind you again that fall fishing is shallow water fishing time, and there's not a better vessel in my driveway for getting to shallow water fish than Crestliner boats. And and I want to tell you right now that in all seriousness, if you want to see or get some help maybe on getting into a Crestliner boat, we're here for you. That's what I mean. Like, that's hands-on, proper bassin deal. You are not a number with Crestliner. You're a real person.
Come out and take it for a rip.
Take it for a ride. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but not mine. But yeah, come on. So check it out. The Real Deal Savings event is continuing in our minds on crestlinerboats.com. And if you want a private message, Straightcast, we'd be happy to help you out on some things. Where are we? I am chugling right down it.
Let's tell him the tin cup whiskey word.
Oh, goodness gracious. Thank you very much. The Tin Cup Tin Cup fishing team. Word of the week. See how I did that? The Tin Cup fishing team.
Special drinking game we got at Straycast here.
What's going on? Ryan usually does
the magic word is podcast.
Podcast. So every time one of us says podcast or one of our guests, take a drink of there it is of your favorite beverage, and if you got a bottle of the Tin Cup at home, get down on a little bit of the hoochie boochie. You know what I'm saying? Snoochy snooch snooch.
But drink safe and responsibly.
Yes, exactly right. Drink safe and drink responsibly. Andy, how we doing?
Good.
Is everything looking good?
I think so.
Should we put these power poles down? Should we get to the deal?
Give it a double tap.
Let's double tap it. Put the power poles down. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back with Chris Zaldain in a momento.
You let me see. Things you let me see.
The all-new XF series by Crestliner. Simplistic perfection with performance features built on a platform for success. The amazingly affordable XF series by Crestliner. A brand new way to reel in bass. For more information and to find your local dealer, visit Crestliner.com today. The Crestliner Real Deal Sales Event. The best time to buy is now at Crestliner.com. Save up to $3,000 today.
Hey, it's Carl, and I've got some big plans this fishing season. I'm hoping to get in the best shape of my life to have some of the best fishing of my life. And I want you to join me for Carl's spring training. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
The TH Marine Hydrowave H2 KVD Edition is a surefire way to ignite a feeding frenzy. The Hydrowave utilizes a sound-emitting technology that imitates bait fish and other feeding fish below the surface that preys on the competitive nature of bass and other game fish to get you more bites. The Hydrowave is another way that TH Marine has you covered from transom to trolling motor.
All right. Pretty good. Pretty neat. Welcome back. I'm Pat Renwick, and right now I'm pretty stoked to bring our buddy back to the show for, this is probably the third or fourth time Chris has been on, right, Andy? Ladies and gentlemen, Bass Fishing Galaxy, we bring to you Chris Zaldain. Yes, Chris knows.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, dude? What's happening, man?
How you doing?
You look great, man.
Hey, it's happening.
You look like a proper bassin' man
Appreciate
should.
Yeah, man, I wish I could be a proper bassin' man like
You
guys.
are. What are you talking about? You are one of the proper bassin' men, man. That's why you're on this show, buddy. You know? We don't have not proper proper bassin' men on this show. Let's just clear that up right now.
That's a good point.
Yes, just right now for the record.
That's a good point.
And how many times is it, Chris? Three?
Yeah, you guys are. I think it's 3. Yeah.
Three.
I think it's
Okay.
About my third time on. Yeah.
And we
Glad
learn
to be here as always,
dude. And we always have fun with you, and we learn more about you each time. Just like Andy said, that's his favorite thing about this show is we get to learn like behind the scenes stuff. You know, with our buds, and
Sure.
and again,
Sure.
I don't want to get too off track here, But you have to remember one thing about us here, Chris, okay? Whenever we have you guys on the show, we are first and foremost fans. Like, before we had the luxury of doing this nonsense, we were your guys' fans. So it's a real cool thing when we
That's
actually
awesome.
get to pick your brains. Do you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So-
Hey, I'm a fan too, man. I'm a fan of all the other anglers out there, and I'm constantly learning. And any interaction with any of those guys on tour is you're always learning something, you know.
Absolutely, man. And lately I have been booking guests on feelings. Okay.
Yeah,
of course,
sure.
when the derbs are going on, I'm gonna book the guys that are winning the derbs. But one of my favorite times to book guests is when I get to book on feelings. And I should probably call. I should, but I'll be honest. I should probably call this show "Waiting on Clun" because, like, every week I'm trying to get Rick Clun on the show. So
That's awesome. That is awesome.
But
I hear you.
but-
And booking on feelings is a lot like tournament bass fishing, right? You stop on a spot because you have that feeling, right? It feels good, positive energy. Good things come of, listening to that gut and that intuition and stopping on that spot or calling that guest or texting that guest.
Exactly. And you were the one that came to my mind this week. Okay. And then the next day I woke
Appreciate
up.
it, man.
No,
Yeah.
dude, my pleasure. You're my bud too, so I want to hear from you as well as everyone else does.
Oh, yeah.
And the next person is our next guest, Luke Dunkin. The next day, I'm like, holy shit, I should book Dunkin.
Oh, yeah.
Why am I not booking Dunkin? And that's what happened. So I'm getting to the point that I book on feelings, and right now at this point. And to me, you are an angler of feelings or emotion or psyche. Okay, like you have some mental psyche aspects that are untapped. Like, nobody really knows the Zaldangerous mind of Chris Zaldain. You know what I mean? Except
My wife might.
The restraining orders speak for themselves on that one. We know about all that, Chris.
Yeah, that's right.
You know we're kidding. Hey, but here's the deal, man. Like, you are a driven angler. Now, I say this with due respect. There has been some missing links with you in closing the deal. Okay? And I know you are a self-aware human. I 100% know that about you.
Yeah.
You are woke, bro. So you know where you need to.
As the kids say. Sure.
You can't be not woke with a mustache like that, just so you know. All right. So look at old Sanchez. So here's the deal.
Sanchez.
So I want to talk about the psyche of Chris Zaldain. So this is your psyche meets fall bass fishing meets the missing link. Okay? So
sure.
So here's what I'd like to do. I'd like to talk to you about some particular tournaments of yours individually, and you kind of break it out. And how I'd like you to break it out is when I tell you about these tournaments, just real quick, you don't need to get into a whole long synopsis of the entire derb, but here's what I'm trying to get at. I want you to state the bait. I want you to state like what the pattern or the deal was at that particular tournament, and then
I like it.
Okay, and then
I
want you to tell me what the missing link that didn't get you the win, or the link that got you the win in a few instances here. Okay. So
Sure.
First,
I like that.
Okay, cool. I want to pick
It's
your.
like a therapy session. with
Dude,
you.
thank you very much. I did this with Ronnie
I feel like
Moore.
I need to be-
Yeah, I did this with Ronnie, and he's like a whole. If you see Ronnie excelling right now on the Bassmasters on ESPN, I take full credit. It's because of me and my mental therapy.
Awesome.
Brandon Palaniuk's success today
That's
is
awesome.
directly because of me. Everything, like all Brandon's success, is
I
because
believe it.
of me. I used to be his manager, and finally I saw he was ready, and I let him go like a butterfly. So these are all true stories that I just made up right now. So I hope you know all that stuff.
I can't wait. Let's dig in.
So okay,
Yeah.
so let's go to Chris Zaldain in 2019 because let's face it, dude, that was a great year. Okay, but also like
3 seconds.
in a third. All right, dude. So we're going
And
to
a third.
we're going to 2009 because like I want to be honest, for a fan it was like every tournament we're like, I think Zaldain's gonna win. Chris is gonna and so we're gonna find these links. I thank you for nailing it. We are going through a little mental evaluation with you right now. So I was gonna try and do it sneakily, but we're gonna do it. You know,
I love different shows, man. That's why I like your show. It's something different. I love it.
Well, thanks, man.
We're hanging out.
Yeah.
We're having a good time. Let's dig into my mind.
Here's the funny thing, if I may stop you, that everyone thinks this is different, but to us this is normal. So that's what you have to remember. So
that's scary. Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. So all right, let's just start. So you're giving us bait, the deal, and the missing link. Are you ready? Okay. 10 Killer, 2019. Okay. 10 Killer.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's a good one. The bait. Of course, this was Oklahoma, like September. It was hot. It was still hot. The fall transition didn't happen yet. Okashira Screwhead, if you guys know what that is.
Okay.
On with a 3-inch spark shad swim bait, just super finessey. That was the main player that week, and I was targeting smallmouth. The deal was throwing that sucker. It's only an 1/8 ounce. It's an 1/8 ounce head with a blade on it that kind of gives it lift, kind of like a little mini chatterbait type of, a lift with a little bit of vibration, a little bit of flash. With my little 3-inch spark shad swim bait, casting on spinning gear and targeting real shallow sloping points, sand and gravel. And it was the craziest bite in September. It's hard to find those ultra shallow ones in September like that, but 10 Killer was a really cool lake because it had smallmouth in it, and they were targeting ultra small bait in September.
Interesting.
And those smallmouth were crashing it. And what's crazy is they wouldn't bite much else. Like if you threw topwater in there, you get 1 bite to every, and I get 6, 7 bites on the small Okashira Screwhead and a swim bait. So that was the bait. That was the deal. If I had a little bit of wind blowing in, it was all main lake stuff, and I was just bouncing around like a pinball, man. Just every little shallow spot that looked good.
Lots of cast.
Cast up there. That was one of those fun tournaments where you're just fishing real loose. It wasn't until I think I was leading it going into the final day on day 4. And that's the thing about all this is it's so hard to win a 4-day tournament, man. It's hard to win a 1-day tournament. You catch a 5-pounder, a 6-pounder, and you're doing really well. It's hard to back it up that next day. It's hard to back it up on day 3 and day 4. So you're constantly trying to adapt and adjust. That pattern was strong. It was really strong at 10 Killer.
What was the missing link?
It wasn't until day 4 championship. What's that?
Keep going. You're getting there, Chris. I'm sorry to interrupt.
So what I'm missing, the missing link. Yeah, the missing link was, we started off, we were on a good roll, championship Sunday. About noon, I was fishing the main lake, and it's not a very big lake, but I saw a boat just running by, rooster tail, all that, and that boat must have had 15 to 17 boats just rooster tailing behind it, following it. I'm like, oh no, that's never a good sign. Noon on championship Sunday. I had an awesome morning, but I had 1 or 2 spectators, and when you see that, it's like, dude, somebody smashed them that day, and it turned out to be Carl Jockinson.
Yeah.
And he had a brush pile, and apparently he had I guess he was fishing. He told me he was fishing that spot all week long, but on Sunday they just happened to show up in a big way, and there were a couple 5-pounders,
right,
4-pound smallmouth.
That's right.
And so I got beat that day. So the missing link was I couldn't dig much deeper than I dug, and I forget what I had, 16, maybe 17. I mean, I caught him that day good.
Right.
And I just got beat, plain and simple. So there's not much you can do about that. It's just like playing hockey, playing football, baseball, whatever. You play your nuts off, and you just get beat sometimes.
Sure.
So, that was an awesome tournament. That was a fun tournament.
So there's nothing that we can chalk there that you really would have done different? It's just like you were on the deal in your mind, but Carl had a spot that turned
Sure.
on.
Sure.
Boom.
Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Sure.
here, so
Yep.
in the positive psyche, let's call it the file of Chris Zaldain, at the 10 Killer event, you are 100% satisfied with your performance, except, of course, you didn't win, but you're still satisfied with your performance, correct?
Couldn't absolutely
Okay.
couldn't control what the other 9 guys were doing. And you're writing it down. Are you grading me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The other 9, you can't control. Yeah, you can't control what the other 9 guys are doing on Championship Sunday. You can only control what you're doing. And it's just that's the way it shook out.
Okay, and I like hearing that. I mean, I like hearing that you still felt good, with the exception of not winning. So I like that. I like that. Gunnersville. Let's talk about your second.
I felt very bad. I felt very bad at noon that day when I saw those 16 boats and one of them way ahead of the 15. That I felt bad, but I got over it. Like I said, I dug deep.
Yeah, that's the toughest part about, like, we've asked Aaron similar things many times, and I mean, there's not a.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Let's
He's got
face
a
it.
lot of seconds.
Yeah,
too.
it's the king
Yep.
of it, you
Yep.
know. And there's.
Yep.
But and we'll keep going. We'll keep digging because I think you'll see where we're going. So let's Gunnersville.
Sure.
Gunnersville. Second place at Gunnersville,
Gunnersville.
2019.
I think we all. Second place. It was a June tournament. I caught him on a spoon, a big flutter spoon.
Yeah.
I just did a YouTube video on how to fish a flutter spoon, and I like sharing that type of information there. And to be honest with you, Pat, I'm still learning how to fish a flutter spoon. I grew up in California, Clear Lake, California Delta, where when we would throw something that big, it had a tail and eyeballs on it, a swim bait,
Yeah.
And we never throw big hunks of metal that big out in California. So I've been learning it over the last couple of years. And so the bait there was a big 8-inch Magnum flutter spoon. And for those who don't know, fishing a flutter spoon is really a great technique in the month of June when you're on a fishery that's got 5, 6, 7+ pound fish. It's not so good up north where you guys are. Maybe the 4 and 5-inch versions that look like a perch, maybe. But what I'm trying to imitate with that big giant flutter spoon is a gizzard shad, is a crappie, is a white bass. I'm talking larger than normal bait fish. And that fluttering action in June just triggers hot water bass, period. Doesn't matter if there's 2 fish in the school, 3 fish in the school, or 30 in the school. That fluttering action just absolutely triggers them. It wasn't until day 4, Championship Sunday, check-in was at 3 o'clock. At about 2:45, I decide to make a stop on a spot that my roommate, I roomed with John Cruz and Ed Lochran, great guys.
Yeah.
Told me about this spot earlier in the week, and I'm a firm believer. You got to give credit where credit's due. Without the help of Ed Lochran, without him saying, "Oh, check this area out when you're heading in," I wouldn't have given myself a chance. But I had a chance to win this tournament. So at 2:45, I'm sorry, it was check-ins at 3. It was probably about 2:30. I got there with 30 minutes to go. Pulled up on this area that he said, "Hey, go check this area. It's kind of by a marker buoy, blah blah blah." So I idle around this area. I'm like, "Oh man, a couple things popped up on my graph." I'm like, "Man, that's gotta be it. It's kind of a ledge, or it's June, it's Gunnersville, ledge fishing. I've already been catching them on a spoon real good, but my main spot on Sunday didn't pan out so good. So I was like, nothing to lose. I got like 13 pounds in the live well. Let's just go check it out. 30 minutes to go. And I get there, idle around, hit a couple waypoints. I'm like, that's got to be it. That's got to be what he's talking about. And like first cast, I ended up throwing a worm in there because it was so tough that day. I figured, worm will get bit. Throw in there. I hooked a 5-pounder and on a worm of all things.
Right.
Catching them good. It comes off. 5-pounder comes off.
Oh no.
And what you guys all saw in the video was, dude, I could have won this tournament, guys. I could have won this tournament. I lost one on a worm. 10 minutes later, I lose one on a spoon, and then that's when the cameras really started going. That was the whole segment. And here we are, 10 minutes to go, 11 minutes to go, and I just like I got the cast lined up, just like swim bait fishing. I had the cast
Gotcha.
lined up, and it was game on. 18 to 22 feet of water. I'm jerking the spoon, and every single cast, every time it fluttered down for about 7 minutes, it was like I either hit one or one hit it, or I snagged one, or one smoked it and missed it and lost it and or landed it, and it was just pandemonium. And that right
That's
there
awesome.
was the craziest moment of bass fishing I've ever had. So bittersweet, right? It's like, oh, I just caught one, and I'm like, I just called up 14 pounds, called up to 16 pounds, 17 pounds. I knew I was teetering in that like 18-pound range. I knew I just needed one more big bite. And here we are. Tell my camera, dude, I got like 3 minutes left. I catch a 5-pounder. I'm up to 18 pounds or so. And I said, I needed one more bite. I knew I needed one more. I got that bite on like my second to last cast, and it came off.
Oh.
And that was brutal. So what did I learn from all that? Man, I went back to the drawing board on all my equipment. Because up until that point, 3 or 4 years on, well, at that point, it was 8 years on tour of throwing a spoon, a big spoon. I'm just learning each and every year, especially on the ledge tournament lakes
Sure.
tournaments. And I learned a lot last year, no doubt. So I made some adjustments since then. And the one adjustment that has really helped me, a lot of the Kentucky Lake and Tennessee River guys may disagree with me, but dude, I went to my same rod, my swim bait rod, it's a Mega Bass Mark 48, 7'8" rod, takes up a lot of the line. But I went to a 50 and a 65-pound braid with a fluorocarbon leader.
Wow.
I mean, that's been one of the biggest trends in bass fishing, braid to fluorocarbon with a spinning setup. But you eliminate that stretch. And when I was making those long casts on Gunnersville, when I jerked that spoon up and as it fluttered down, one would smoke it. And even though it was 20-pound fluorocarbon, there was just enough stretch there that when you set the hook, stout rod, there's still that stretch there that, man, if they just put a little bit of slack in it, they threw it. So I made that adjustment from braid to fluorocarb, from fluoro, straight 20 fluoro to 50-pound braid to a 25 fluoro later.
Gotcha.
And that just provides just enough cushion. But strength and zero stretch in the braid. And man, I started landing, 9 out of the 10 fish I hooked on that thing now. And whereas before it was like 4 out of 10. And it showed in that tournament. And then fast forward a little bit this year, the tournament we had down in Alabama down there, I caught the tournament's big fish. It was 7-15 or something, almost 8 pounder. And it was hooked really well. And I attribute that to the adjusting the braid to fluorocarbon. So going back, so that was the bait, that was the deal, that was the bite. And going back, one, listen to your roommates more often, okay, and make those adjustments. Yes. And make those adjustments too, because that's what that's what they're for, right? You gain trust in your brotherhood, the guys you're staying with, and as long as you guys are in the tournament together, you could bounce ideas off each other. And in this case, it was just a general area. It wasn't a waypoint, general area. It said, go check this out by this marker booth. I idled around and found the spot, and I'm thankful for all that. But execution, that tournament, man, it really bit me in the ass.
Yeah, man, and I like how you stated that straight out right away. Now, there was a missing link, and it was that fluoro to braid deal, and I know firsthand about that. I've never fished the spoon deal, but I've fished that big hair chicken, that hair jig. You know what I'm talking about? The one the Outcast one. Yeah. And I was throwing it on straight fluoro and losing some fish, but once I moved to that braid with the fluoro leader, boom.
A lot of stretch and
on those long casts and the long rod.
So these techniques we're talking about. So like long rod, and you guys up there, you guys dabble with that deep water and long cast. Whenever you have a technique that requires, big hook sets on long casts, man, listeners, you might want to, look into braid to fluorocarbon. I like the Seaguar Smackdown with the Tatsu leader. But man, people don't realize how much stretch there is in fluorocarbon. It's a lot less than what monofilament is. But man, with zero stretch, you really could send those hooks home in a tournament, especially on day 4. Man, they're so hard. These tournaments are so hard to win. Day 4 execution has got to be 100% nails.
You got to bury the barb first. I mean, plain and simple. You got to get that barb.
Got to do it.
Gotta
Got to
do
do it and keep moving. Got to keep moving.
Hey, let's.
Oh, hey, okay. So I got a good one for you.
Yeah, tell me.
We got time?
Oh yeah,
I got
go ahead.
quick
Yeah,
one.
go ahead.
We were just in New York last month, and we were waiting on our COVID test up in New York.
Yeah.
And we were coming off. Yeah, we were coming off quarantine. You know, I think it was the second tournament off of quarantine, and your buddy Rick Klum comes up to me. We're sitting there in line, 6 feet apart from each other. You know, we're waiting on our nasal test. And we're outside. Everyone's outdoors with masks on and everything. Rick Klum just gets his done. And he kind of walks past me 6 feet away. And he's like, hey, how you doing? He's like, oh, man, I just got we got swiped and all that. And I hope everything's good. So we're talking 6 feet away. He goes, hey, man. He looks right at, I have my mask on, looks at me right in the eyes. He goes, hey, man. He goes, yeah, during this quarantine, I've been doing a lot of, video watching. Been watching a lot of tournaments recently. And he goes, man. He goes, you lose way too many fish. Look at me right in my eyes.
Wow.
You lose way too many fish. I'm like, oh, man, dude, that hurt. It hurts. When Rick Klum said, dude, and he goes, dude, but he didn't say dude. He said, he says, man, you got to keep them moving. He goes, when you hit them, you got to keep that reel handle moving. And if you ever look at Rick Klum, he's the cranker, right? So he's a treble hook master.
Sure.
And he uses a somewhat stout rod, fluorocarbon, and monofilament. But when he hits one with the crankbait, he just starts winding and reeling and reeling and reeling. And I did go back on some of that footage, that spoon footage, and I do. When I hit him, I'm back here with it. I'm still trying to catch up with it.
Yeah.
And he told me, he goes, keep them coming, man. Just keep on reeling. Now, when Rick Klum comes up to you and tells you that, it makes you talk about psyche.
Dude.
I went home that night, and it was haunting me,
of
all
course.
night. Dude. Yeah.
And here's
Yeah.
first off,
so
here's Rick Klum looking at you though. Here's Rick Klum analyzing Chris Zaldain. That's pretty freaking cool in itself.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's nutty.
Yeah.
Nutty. Yeah. Yeah.
That's like a little
yeah. And at the time he was on a roll. He was letting me have it, and I was learning from him and just vibing with him. And at the time, so I use an 8-to-1 reel, okay? And other guys have tell me, have you encountered this problem with these super high-speed reels? It's an 8-to-1 reel. I exclusively now use 7-to-1. 8-to-1 is very fast. Now, when you hook a fish out there in a real long cast, or if you're flipping or frogging, get them good. That 8-to-1 reel, the gear ratio is so high that you don't have really the torque. It's kind of like you're in a 8-speed Corvette or something trying to go up a hill in 8th gear. It's not going to happen. You need to drop the gear down to 2nd, 3rd gear.
Sure.
So, when there's a big fish pulling on your line and you're handcuffed up here, turning that handle is much harder on an 8-to-1 than it is a 5-to-1, 6-to-1, 7-to-1. So I found a 7-to-1 is that right medium of, otherwise you're up here and you're handcuffed, and it's so much harder to wind in an 8-pounder or 5-pounder on an 8-to-1 gear ratio reel. So that just goes with what Rick told me about, keep that reel handle moving, keep it moving, keep it moving.
And is that everything? Do you throw every bait then on a 7-to-1, no matter what it is, Chris?
Almost exclusively now. Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
Jerking. A jerk bait, I still like 6-to-1 because 7-to-1 kind of screws up my cadence. It's it brings too much line in.
Okay, I'm with you.
6-to-1 while I'm throwing a jerk bait because jerk bait is less of coming to you and it's more of left right. So you can't pull in too much line. You want that 110 moving left to right instead of straight at you with a fast reel.
So if you're throwing a square bill, for instance, you're throwing it on a 7-to-1 as well.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
I'll throw 7-to-1 and just slow it down. And when it bites it, just keep it reeling.
Keep the pressure on.
I'm a real technical angler. I like all the little technical things of fishing, and sometimes it's over technical. I think sometimes I overthink it. What do you think?
Well, no,
What do you think, Doc?
Well, we're thinking. That's the whole purpose of this, and
Yeah, we are.
and pretty much like I think every tournament should end with a story that I met Rick Clunn in the parking lot. I think that's
Yes, agreed.
And then eventually it's going to be like
so awesome.
I met Rick Clunn in the parking lot, and he congratulated me on my win.
Yeah.
That's where
There you go. That's it. Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to now. Okay, so we kind of let's go to Lanier. All right, I want to go to Lake Lanier.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. What was going on at that derb? What was the bait? The deal?
Yeah. So Lake Lanier was our second. Yep. Lake Lanier was our second tournament of the 2019 Elite Series. It was a February, third week of February deal, I believe. Third week of February, I think is when it was. And it was a deep, clear water spotted bass deal. Lake Lanier, just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Totally reminds me of where I grew up. Northern California,
Right.
flat-billed hat, bro this, bro that. Finesse fishing. And I fished it on a 3/8 ounce head, ball head. And it was, again, that 3-inch spark shad, and
Gotcha.
big spots. Love that little swimmer that time of year. I know there's a Bass Open on Hartwell coming up, which is kind of the same deep Clearwater spotted bass thing. But the swim baits aren't as effective as they are in February and March because they're slow moving, because they're natural, because the fish are more lethargic, fatter.
Gotcha.
This time of year, they zip around and move and cover a lot of water. But that tournament, it was a 3-inch spark shad again, and I was fishing it down like 40, 45 feet of water, sometimes 50, 55 feet of water. Braid to fluorocarbon, extra long spinning rod, and I was setting my boat up in 55 to 60, bombing it out to about 35, letting it hit the bottom. Sometimes there was just trees, and they were on top of trees, and just slow winding it down. Thunk, there's one, like a crappie bite.
Right.
I weighed anywhere from, I think, 16 to 18 of spotted bass every day, I think is what I did. On that final, and that was the deal, was deep swim baiting. On that, it's kind of the same thing as 10 killer. On that final day, I had another kick-ass Sunday. I really did. I thought I had it. I think I had 17 pounds. I caught him. I had two, like 4-pound spots, and then just a limit. And it was close. I mean, I knew it was kind of be close, but I didn't give it away by any means. It's just that Paul Mueller had an awesome day.
You sure did.
I think he had 2 4s and 1 near 5, 1 over 5, I think is what he had. And he had an awesome day, and he's a hell of a finesse fisherman. And it was a finesse showdown. And I went to the lower end of the lake. In my opinion, that time of year, spotted bass fishing, if you're not fishing within sight of a dam, you're not fishing to win. That's because big spotted bass love that clear, deep water. And
Sure.
Where do you find the deepest clear water in your lake? It's going to be down by the dam. So that's a little rule I learned out in California growing up, and I've got a wind, a couple winds in Northern California fishing deep spotted bass, and a lot of those winds and those tournaments come with inside of the dam, and it's just I don't know what it is, but the bait fish congregate around the fronts of dams and stuff like that time of year. So I was licking my chops at the start of that one, and he almost pulled that one off. I don't know what I lost by, but it wasn't much at all.
No. I mean, that was a close third, man. And again, so you kind of figure or felt you did everything you could at that tournament. It just was a matter of
I did. I really did. There's not yet, dude. Like last year, man. Gosh, last year it was just it was a it was the weirdest thing. I just you just do everything you can that final day. You get all these clues from 3 days of practice and 3 days of the tournament, and on that last day, that's the 7th day on the water. All that information you receive after 6 days of fishing on the lake, you just regurgitate it and you apply it in an 8-hour day. And man, I never gave up. I dug deep and I thought about every next move. It just didn't work out. It's the weirdest thing. But I recognize those little moments when stuff starts happening. Look at BP at Champlain. the final day. I
Right.
mean, he just kept, stuck with the drop shot and boulders for smallmouth, and everyone thought it was going to be one on largemouth, but he stuck with it. And you could see it on his face. You recognize, bam, man, it's happening. It's happening right now. Something special is happening.
Sure.
And I'm just going to let it go. And, and I've had little glimpses of that, but I've never had just a awesome Sunday where I'm in contention to win. So it'll come.
Hey, dude, exactly. And here is a magic time that we are heading into in bass fishing history. And talking about time, this time is your time, Chris Zaldain, because you pretty much wrapped it up that these different techniques, you're a fisherman of versatility. Okay, you're a versatile fisherman. You went out and almost won a tournament on a flutter spoon. At that time, that was kind of a new deal to you. But yet you drew similarities from familiarity. Does that make sense? Okay.
Sure.
So
absolutely.
And you were able to adapt and almost win. All right. Now, we're going into this fall, this special time of bass fishing. There has not been fall tournaments in ages. And I know that you in particular are pumped up about it. Okay? You're pumped up.
I love it. I love fall fishing.
Now, I want to ask you first before we move on to this fall deal. All right? Out of those tournaments, those second place tournaments that we talked about, and we're leaving some out. I got a whole list, of obviously a year tournaments. And
And of course, let's not talk about it anymore.
Well, no, but I mean, and we should make a point here that you did win the Sturgeon Bay Derb for that was an AOY.
Yep, I did win that one.
2015.
An AOY tournament.
Yep. And then way back in 2000
on a little slimmer. Yep.
On the way back in 2005, you won a Open on Clear Lake, right? Was it a 2005?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And what was that bait?
5. Yep.
What was the bait?
That was what was that? It was a giant square-billed crankbait.
Oh,
and
really?
A buzz bait. Reaction.
Wow. Bait. Okay. Gotcha. So if we
I've learned so much since then, man. That was so long ago.
2005, man. That's like 30 years ago.
15 years ago.
That's a long time. And now you have progressed into this time. Here's the common denominator on the bait, right? The common denominator on the bait is all of these baits represent bait fish, right? Swim type baits.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Zaldain's specialty.
Absolutely.
Right? Zaldain's specialty. That's
I love it.
Like we think of you with that type of deal, right? Now, with that being said, we're moving into the bait fish time of the year, right? And we're moving into pattern fishing. Or wait, is there still such a thing as pattern fishing? Are bass too smart now? Are they?
No, absolutely. There's such thing as pattern fishing.
Okay.
The only place that pattern fishing doesn't exist, and my California followers know this, is in California. It's like California fishing is all about finding like a spot or and just a small area where they happen to be feeding that week or for those 3 days or those 4 days. But pattern fishing is very much alive and well, and that's what it takes in those Septembers, Octobers, Novembers, establishing the pattern and seeing what those topo lines look like and running those with reaction bait.
Keep bringing up Clun again, and I always seem to do this with you, but the whole idea of pattern fishing and fall fishing, of course, was taught to us all historically in the textbooks of Bassmaster magazine. Of course, Rick Clun's own text and courses about fall pattern fishing, man.
Oh yeah.
But what I want to, it seems that people don't pay attention to pattern fishing anymore, or is it just like it seems everyone is spot and bait driven? Is that? Or is it? Am I missing something?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. as professionals, we're always trying to look for a pattern because that seems like that's the most consistent. When you get a Bill Wheeler, great fisherman that finds a spot that holds for 4 days, he wins by a lot,
Right.
and that's it just really shows different types of professional anglers and their specific approach to the given tournament that week. But all the guys I run with, definitely, if I'm, if I get a phone call, or if I make a phone call at noon on a Tuesday of practice, it's, did you uncover a pattern, or what's the pattern like? It's never, spot, waypoint, but it's always pattern, because as professionals, 10 tournaments a year, that is the most consistent thing, is establishing patterns, more so than the lure color or the lure. So pattern fishing, in my opinion, it's super important.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, though. It does seem like there's been some tournaments here recently that have been won on spots, on a location where they just camp out and just pluck them one after the other.
Yeah, man.
Not my gig.
And it reminds me of something that that Gary Klein told me when he used to be cool. He told me that it doesn't matter like what the particular area is, whether it's like if you're catching them in bushes, a guy like Jimmy Houston is gonna come through and rack him up on a spinnerbait. Denny Brower is gonna come through and rack him up on a flip in a tube. Okay, and then Clun's gonna come through on a square bill. But it's like it doesn't matter. It's the pattern that the fish are in 2-foot bushes in the backs of creeks. In.
Exactly.
So,
correct. Absolutely.
So it's not necessarily.
I would agree with them. Yep, I would agree with them back then. Not so much now.
There you go. There you go, man. So I think that with going into to the whole deal with the fall tournaments here, and just for everybody that doesn't know, you guys you're going to Gunnersville, right? And then you're off to Santee.
Yep.
Santee Cooper's going to be awesome, dude. That's going to be a cool derb.
Yep. A lot of big ones there. A lot of big ones. Yep.
And then Chickamauga, you're going to Chick, and then Texas Fest, like all the way in November, right? Or like that's way almost
the first week in November.
Yeah,
first week in November, it'll be cold. And by the time we end, it'll be cold. It's kind of weird because by then normally our boats are sold and moving on. This whole crazy game of professional bass fishing.
Sure.
Getting new boats every year and getting rid of them and rigging them out and registering insurance and all that whole cycle has been pushed back. So that's kind of weird. But I, for one, am very appreciative that Bass delivered us a schedule, man. We still have 4 tournaments left while other guys are at home watching fishing. Like, we're fishing, know, so, going into the first one, Lake Gunnersville, slop, man. It's slop tournament, frogs, fast-moving frogs, slow-moving frogs, punching, flipping, maybe a little bit of a spoon, big jerk baits, traps, big willow leaf spinner baits, fun stuff.
No more live scanning smallmouths.
And the lakes start boom, exactly. Thank you for saying that. And then we go to Santee where you could bump a nasty square bill into some of the stumps and cypress trees and get a reaction bite, or throw a giant walking topwater and get big. And see, that's how I like fishing. I like going for 6 to 7 bites, because if I land 5 of them, I'm gonna have more weight than you. Like that type of thing, that type of mentality. Yeah, and then we go to Chick. Same gig there. A little bit of grass, a little bit of bait chasing. And then we end it in Fork. And again, it's just that mentality of, for me, run this pattern, and I'm all about getting the biggest, getting that biggest bite on that spot as I pull up to it. Dude, yesterday I caught a 9.19 largemouth with a big giant megabass crankbait, and it was the first cast as I pull up to it. And you guys got to stay tuned for the video, but it was the craziest fish catch ever. But it's that kind of mentality. I want the biggest freaking fish on that spot. I want to catch her, put her in the box, make sure she's happy, and then move on to the next one, and then
Right.
catch the biggest one there. So I've always been, that way, and that's the way you approach fall fishing. And it can be tough. It can be very, very tough. But that's how you knock it out of the park and during those months.
And in my opinion, historically, and this is my whole reason for bringing up pattern fishing, it seems like that besides the spring, the fall seems to be the easiest time to pattern fish, mostly because they're in condensed areas.
Game on. Yep.
I mean, they're ready. They're there to do one
Feeding.
thing.
They're packed up and they're feeding.
And
Yep.
that, sir, is bass in history right there. I mean, that's what we were born on.
Oh yeah.
Right here.
It is.
Fall fishing.
No doubt.
No
doubt.
So
Yep.
I gotta ask you
favorite
this.
time.
I know, man, and I gotta ask you this. Where are you? Where is Chris Zaldain's mental psyche right now going into this fall swing let's say on a scale of 1 to 5? 5 being the tops. 5 being like 5 stars, man.
Okay, so so this is my 9th season. I've learned to. We're still a couple weeks out. So where we are right now today, I'm about a 3.75 to 4. Because if I was at 100 right now, that stoke level would decimate. So I want to rise that stoke level as we get into it, as I go out in the garage and start to get my stuff together and pick up these big spinner baits and these big swim baits and these big top waters. And I like to rise that stoke level as we get to the tournament. I see a lot of guys, some of my competitors on social media talking about how stoked they are, and I love it, man. I love it, and I love being stoked for tournaments. But I like to rise that stoke level, and I'm in the classic right now, and that's all that matters to me. I'm out of it for AOI, and winning first place, winning Angler of the Year. It was a goal of mine this year, but I had one tournament that blew that away. So don't care about AOI. My only goal is to make the classic one. And then it would be nice to win one of the 4 tournaments, so I could go for broke. I mean, I'm not in it for points. I just need to hang in there for the classic and just go for the throat, man. The next 4 tournaments, and there's only one way I know how to do that, and that's with the larger than normal baits, the faster than normal baits.
Yeah, dude, man tackle, power fishing.
I just love that kind of fishing. So
yeah, man.
Yeah.
And we're excited for it here as fans. There's no doubt about it. And I want to talk to you a little bit. I mean, man, let's do this, Chris. Let's play the bait game. You want to play a bait game?
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
We play a game on the show here called Bass in Life, and you've played this with us before. It's where we give you a situation or a scenario, and you're related to bass fishing in life. But I think since we're talking about fall fishing and pattern fishing and bait fishing, we're going to talk about different fall power baits. All right. What do you think? So,
Okay. Sure.
Here's how we'll do it. I'm kind of this is a new thing I'm working on here, actually. So it's what I'm going to do is give you a bait, right? And then you relate that bait to a professional bass angler. So the first angler that you think of in your mind when you hear this bait.
Okay.
Now, here's the tough part.
I like it.
First, you tell me why. You got to tell me the angler and why. And then you have to relate the bait to a celebrity and why.
Okay.
Okay, that's the twister of tongues. So, for example, I'll give you this one here, and I'll just to give an example where I'm coming from. So, buzzbait, I think of Johnny McCombs. Remember, he won that FLW Derb on that buzzbait.
Oh yeah,
it's like the first thing that popped in my mind when I was doing this thing. And then the redhead chick that made the $1 million on the Fans Only account. What's her name?
Yeah.
Help me out.
Yeah.
She was in that. She's famous.
I don't know her name. I don't know her name.
We don't need to know her name. You're exactly
I saw
right.
the post.
She's Insta famous, and she made she's a buzzbait to me, right? Because boom, $1 million one night, Fans Only. You know who has a Fans Only account now? Matt Robertson. Yes.
Who?
Yeah, Matt Robertson
nice.
on him
Nice.
has
I like that dude.
Yeah, he has a fans only account and he does things with tigers. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's
Dude,
totally-
he's been traveling with a dark cloud, huh?
Yeah, but it's making him stronger. He's going to it's going to make a beast out of this
Sure.
kid. You know what I mean?
I love his post.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love his post, man. He's so raw, so real.
You know,
Love it.
I almost
Love
killed.
it.
I almost killed him accidentally, right? You know that? Yeah, I hit him in the bait.
No.
I hit him in the head
No.
with like a 1 ounce jig, and he bled for 3 days. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was your semi that backed into him.
Oh God, no!
yesterday.
Jeez, no, no.
Yeah.
I hit him in the head with one of those dang chicken jigs. That's hair chicken jigs. Smacked him. Good, real good.
Dang.
All right, hey, let's play game shows. Let's do this. Are you ready to do this? All right.
Sure.
It's time to play Bass, Baits, and Life with Bassmaster Elite Series angler Chris Zaldain. Chris, the first bait that I would like you to tell me the first angler that comes to your mind, as well as the first celebrity that comes to your mind, and both why, is crankbait. Chris, it's crankbait. What do you think of?
David Fritz, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Sitting down on a pedestal. Yeah, sitting down on a. It's not even a pedestal seat. It's a. It's not a bike seat. It's like an actual seat.
Oh yeah,
seat.
the old school one. Yeah.
Crankbait. Yeah. Oh, dude. You know what's crazy is I run into him a lot in practice, like a lot, and that makes me feel good about myself. Like even on a giant lake. I mean, him and I will end up in the same area.
Is that
like,
right?
Wow, dude. I don't know if he's fishing off history or like pattern fishing. Either way, dude, he has got the accolades and he has got the name and the crankbait skill.
Yeah, bro.
I run into him a whole lot. I don't know, celebrity. I don't know. Crank. Isn't that what they call some? I don't.
Just say what you feel.
I don't know very many celebrities.
Yes, you do.
I don't know very many celebrities.
Think of anything that's a celebrity.
No, I don't.
Who's a cranky celebrity?
Yeah. Hey. You tell me. Tell me. Andy, help me out here.
I'm going back to celebrities to me are fishermen, so Tommy Biffle. Even though Tommy's not really cranky.
Boom.
He's not really cranky.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Here's another. Now,
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Now think about this. Are you ready? Punch rig. First
Okay.
angler and the first celebrity. Punch rig. Think about it. Punch rig.
I'm gonna have to go with my boy Ishama Monroe from California.
Yeah, bud. Yeah.
He's been punching a long time. Yeah. And he
King
just
of
won
punch.
a California Delta out there. Still winning on the Delta.
Sure is.
Recently, and Ish is a good dude, Yamaha teammate of mine. So yeah, definitely him for a punch rig. And then the celebrity, we'll go. It's got to be Sly Stallone.
Yeah, bro.
Rocky,
Okay.
Punching, punch base. Adrian.
Yeah, I was right there. Or the
That
Rock.
one was easy.
The Rock. The Rock was my other one in my head. For some reason, I thought of The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
Okay. Sure. That's a good one.
Mike Tyson.
Tyson, thank you. JP thought Tyson. I got it.
Tyson, sure.
We're all thinking the same
Sure.
thing.
Spinnerbait. Spinnerbait.
Spinnerbait.
Yeah, spinnerbait.
Jason Christie, of course.
Yeah, me too. That was mine.
Uh,
Mine's Jason Christie.
I think he's caught more spinnerbait fish on a live, in a live segment, Bass Live, whatever it is, live camera, than most guys in the last 5 years.
Exactly.
If you go back 15, 20 years, it's got to be KVD. But in the last 5 years or so, definitely JC with a spinnerbait. And celebrity, spinning.
You're close, Spinner.
I'm not good at these games,
It's
man.
Well, I'll help you.
So-
Spinner is so I got Christie. That was the same one, and my spinnerbait is Ariana
Yeah.
Grande. Ariana Grande. She's my little spinner bait, right there.
Okay.
All right. So that's.
Does she have a song that
No,
that
she's just-
references some spinning or spinner or something?
She's just a spinner. That's all.
Oh, she just spins.
That's it.
Okay.
It's that spin
All right.
spin class.
Cool.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, here's a tough one. Here's a tough one. All right. You ready? Drop shot. Drop shot.
Oh, come on, that's easy. Did you
Okay.
say that was a tough one? That's
No,
easy.
I don't know.
Got and the same premise of who's caught the most kind of on cam, Bass Live and such. Got to be A-Marks.
Yeah, bud.
And hope he's doing well. And continue to support and pray for Aaron. And dude, he's a drop shotting legend.
Yeah, he is.
The cool thing about Aaron is you ask him what his favorite technique is, and he will never say a drop shot.
Oh no, absolutely will
it's
not.
just, I catch a lot. I catch a lot on a drop shot, but a cranking is my favorite. So, but everyone knows he is like the drop shotter of all drop shotters.
Sure.
So, no doubt, Aaron. Let's see here. The celebrity drop shot. Let's go with and shot. Okay, I'm a avid shooter and gun guy. Drop shot. Keanu Reeves.
Okay,
John
yeah,
Wick.
yeah.
Some
John
of
Wick is a
those
badass.
Dropping motions and shooting motions. Sure, yeah.
And
yeah,
never
yeah,
mess
yeah.
with a man's dog.
And, talk about two. No, never. Talk about in the same sentence. Talk about two really awesome human beings, Aaron and Keanu. Those two are proper men.
Absolutely,
and,
they should
so-
hang out. I think those two should hang out.
Yeah.
In fact, they could probably
Yeah,
solve all the
yeah,
world's
it'd be good.
problems. I think the two of them.
No doubt. No doubt.
Hey, Chris, I'm getting the flags. We're running over on time, and I just want to tell you, dude, thank you for coming to hang out again, bro. I mean,
Thanks, man. It's a good show to come out, to come on and let loose, man. I appreciate it as always, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks, Andy, and everyone for tuning in.
and dude, and best of luck and safe travels on this fall swing, and we're
Thank you.
we're pulling for you, bud. We're pulling for you.
Right on, Patty.
Ladies.
I appreciate it, man. Raccoons suck.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys later.
Screw the Rakins.
I'm out. We'll see you.
Chris Zaldain right there. Yes, okay. Gotcha. All right, you want to get, is it time to get low life? What are we going to do? Are we going to put the power poles down? Let's put the power poles down, and let's get the one and only Luke Dunkin up next on the old Zoomerooski. Be right back.
This is the mountain, and this is mountain whiskey. Unspoiled, untamed, forever wild. There's no safety net, no way down. Up here, it's just man, and the mountain, and his tin cup. Tin Cup Whiskey. Mountain whiskey.
T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff.
Bass Galaxy, are you ready? It is time for the 296th ranked angler in the world. He is the king of the lowlifes. He is the host of Low Budget Live. He is a nightmare walker and a boat park talker. He is a traveling carny. He is the host of Boats and Thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you the one and only Luke Dunkin! Yes!
Dang it, man.
Yes!
Dang it.
Wow!
That was an incredible intro.
I'm out of breath. Wow.
I can tell you were out of breath. You were out of breath. And as much as you run, I would think that would not be the case with you, Mr. Renwick.
It was because of the excitement that was involved in that introduction. It took my breath away, Mr. Duncan.
Well, dude, I like to take credit for giving people really good intros on the show. I think I say it about every guest. Dude, I just gave you the best intro right when they come on. But, I mean, that was the best intro I've ever heard.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
It was really good.
As we say here on Stray Cast, that's how you bass fish and talk show right there.
No doubt. No doubt. The goats of the bass fishing talk show universe.
Dude, it's great to have you on the show. And I don't know if you heard me telling Chris, but I like these times when we're not booking Derb winners because I get to book on feelings, man. And the first thought was Chris Zaldain, and then I'm like, damn it, I gotta call Luke. And I texted you. You said, "Right on, brother. I'm there, man." No hesitation. And here you are in a whole new chapter of your life. So I brought you on this show for basically a couple reasons. I got like 2 questions for you, and I'm gonna let you go.
Okay.
The first one is, how's Marty? How's Marty doing?
Marty's actually having kind of a bad day today.
Uh-oh.
I want to throw that out there. Marty, my dad, he has a place in Orange Beach, Alabama he bought several years ago. And it was him and my mom's deal. Had a condo down there on the bay. That was always what my mom wanted. So several years ago, they bought one. Well, there's a hurricane named Sally that rolled through there today and pretty much devastated that area. He's not sure, what it looks like. Yeah,
I'm sorry, man.
Man.
Sorry, Marty.
I mean, he's good. He's been sending me picture updates all day long. He's on it like Jim Cantori, but and I think his actual his place down there that they had, I think it's fine, but like everything around it, no bueno. So he's like, I'm getting in the truck and I'm going down there. And I'm like, Pop.
Sounds like Marty.
Down.
Yeah, sounds like
yeah.
Marty.
Yeah. He was like gonna find Jim Cantori, but we had some friends of ours. I want to say that, man. Thoughts and prayers for those guys for sure, because we had several friends of ours, charter boat captains down there, didn't get their boats out in time.
Oh no!
These really big, and we were trying to get a hold of one of our friends down there on a boat called the Shady Lady, Captain Brian, and my dad was watching the Weather Channel, and Jim Cantori was reporting in front of the boat on dry ground.
Oh no!
About 500 yards from where it should have been in the marina.
Wow.
And Dad, and the boys actually fished on that boat the last week of July with this guy. So anyways, and we go every year with him, good guy, but they didn't take it. I mean, I won't say they didn't take it serious, but they didn't get them out, man. And you're talking a 60-foot, offshore boat. Where are you going to put that thing? They don't trailer them, so they rolled the dice, and all those marinas are in really bad shape. They're all basically gone. The marinas are. Man. Because of the storm surge. So not to be a downer, but that's Marty.
Gosh.
That's Marty. That's where he's at today.
Well, if anybody can fix everything, it's Marty.
Oh, trust me. He'll be down there, I mean, like Thor with a hammer, buddy.
Nice. I like that.
He's in the chat.
Marty's in the chat?
Yeah.
Marty's in the chat?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay. Big pop in the chat.
So when nobody knew about Stray Cast, Marty was like our biggest fan. And that's why
Marty.
I have a fond place in my heart for your father. I'll be honest.
Marty, you're supposed to enjoy everything your kids do, I think, but I'll tell you right now, he's not a lowlifer at all. He is very much a Stray Cast fan.
Hi, Marty. I hope everything works out with the property, man. All right, a couple more questions, and I'll let you go, Luke.
Buddy.
The second one is, on my Atlas jack plate, whenever, the thing that like, when I trim it up, there's that indicator on the gauge that tells you, like, how come sometimes that like, does something get caught in there? What's the best way to clean those?
You're gonna want to use StarTron for that.
Okay, clean it with StarTron. Okay, very good. One more question. You know when I put that grass goat thing on the trolling motor, like what's the like, you know how those screws? I can never get that adjustment right. Do you have any tip for that?
Yeah. You call Corey
at
TH Marine and have him put it on. That's what I do with all my stuff.
He comes.
Call Big C.
Does Big C come to Indiana?
Yeah.
He comes to Indiana?
Yeah.
Okay.
He comes. Anyway, listen, all you listeners out there, if you buy a TH Marine product, shoot Corey Williams an Instagram message. He'll come install it for you.
We'll put his number up for
There,
him.
we'll put his cell up there.
We'll put his cell phone up.
Swipe up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Luke Dunkin, thanks for coming on the show, guys. Good night.
There
Take
it is.
care.
There it is. Thank you, guys. It's great.
Answered all our boat questions.
I mean, that's it. The only one you forgot to ask that most people ask, Pat, is, hey, man, can I get a deal on one of those jackboots?
You got any factory seconds? Any factory seconds, man?
Yeah, man. You got any hats? You got any TH hats?
Hey, here's where we're going. 2002 Choo Choo division of the BFL.
Oh, boy.
2002 Choo Choo division of the BFL.
Yeah.
A young Luke Dunkin, 18 years ago.
Yeah.
What the world? That's like a prepubescent Luke Dunkin.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
Just little bitty beard hairs. You know what I mean?
No beard hairs.
I know, that's what I mean.
Yeah, no beard hairs. That was 19 years old, man. That was that was that.
Okay. So here's what I want you to do. At 2000, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm going back from like a previous straight cast. I think the first one, and I think you told us is 2002 when you first were basically moving to the front of the boat as a complete as a pro angler instead of a co.
Yeah, and I fished. Well, I guess it was. It might have been the year before. I fished a couple BFLs out of a Triton aluminum boat with a jet drive that I used to have.
Yes,
like 60-40 jet. And I would roll up at Gunnersville like, you grass boys have had it, and then I would catch one and pick hydrilla out of the motor. But I fished a couple out of it at like 18. But yeah, it was really like 02 or
so right around
there when
around there. Okay.
Yeah, right around there for sure. 01, 02.
So now what I want you to do is I want you to think about that period of time. And here's Luke Dunkin, 19-year-old Luke Dunkin, and you're probably thinking to yourself like, heck yeah, man, like I'm doing this. I'm going out. I'm a bass fisherman. I am a bass fisherman, okay? Now I want you to take that thought train right there. You know, like I'm doing this. Now, go back to little Luke Dunkin. Let's say 10-year-old Luke Dunkin.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, what would 10-year-old Luke Dunkin think about 19-year-old Luke Dunkin as his first year of a professional angler?
Well, he would have thought that I was a badass just for trying it. But then after a couple years of trying it, he would have been like, this is a lot harder than we thought it was going to be. That's what 10-year-old, because 10 to 12-year-old Luke Dunkin was like, dude, this is nothing but cardboard checks, jerseys in the big time, baby. Smooth sailing. Like, because I was like, I love bass fishing. That's all you got to do is love bass fishing. That's it.
Right.
The rest will fall into place, man. And like, I could not have loved fishing any more than I did when I was 19. Though I'll say that, like, I feel like if I had the drive as a 30-year-old when I fished the FLW Tour in my first year, not saying I didn't have drive, but if I had the drive then and that I did when I was 19 with the mental capacity to keep it together, I think I was a lot better fisherman when I was 19 or 20. Now the results may not show it, but I fished all the time. I mean, I was constantly on the water. Even if I had an hour, of course you have no responsibilities. You're not married. You don't have kids. I'm in college. I'm working at a tackle store. I'm a complete bass head.
Loving and fishing.
Yeah. So if I had an hour, dude, I was on the water.
Right.
back then, and then as life progresses, it gets busy, So, yeah, 19-year-old, that was a good time.
So
That was a good time.
here's the next thing. So let's take that 19-year-old Luke Dunkin, and let's look at, how old are you now, Luke? How old are you?
I'm 37.
And let's take the 19-year-old Luke Dunkin. What does he think about 37-year-old Luke Dunkin, podcast host, traveling circus host, a guy that kind of stepped away from the professional angler game, and a boat part salesman? Like, what is 19-year-old professional bass fisherman Luke Dunkin think about 37-year-old Luke Dunkin?
I think that 19-year-old me would be very excited for where, things have ended up. I think that 19-year-old me would be very surprised at the path that it took to get to where I'm at right now in life, in the fishing industry and just in the world in general, because there's definitely been some bumps in the road and there's been some detours, to say the least, from that 19-year-old career path, but I think 19-year-old me would be very, very excited for where everything's at these days. And look, like getting to fish the tour, getting to live your dream, that's something I always wanted to do, and getting to be a part of it. But then finding my voice in this bass fishing world is, I always just wanted to be a part of it, right? I wanted to be a pro, but I just wanted to be embedded in it from a very early age. I consumed, stats and where guys were from. And I mean, I could tell you I was a nerd in high school, man, and I could read you a sheet from an Eastern Invitational and tell you where every damn body was from. Man.
Exactly.
I mean, it was weird, but
I know.
I could just spit it out. But that was, and to think of now with the NPFL deal I'm going to do next year, that we're kicking off the commentating gig, like that was kind of setting up for where I'm at today, unbeknownst to me at the time. So I would think that 19-year-old me would be pretty pumped about being on Straycast, but think about this though, Pat, you and I talk about this some. How cool is it that Larry Nixon knows who you are?
Yeah, it's insane. Absolutely.
And he knows who I consider I could text Larry Nixon right now. And that is, for me, that's beyond my wildest dreams. I consider Mike Iaconelli a friend.
It's nuts,
Gerald
right?
Swindle's one of my closest friends. Like Mark Zona, these guys that people idolize and I idolize, and they call me. I mean,
it's nuts, right? It makes zero sense. This is the Matrix. This is not even real life.
It's a total simulation.
Jimmy Houston will call. I'll miss a call and he'll say, "Hey, call me back, Pat. I'm on this cell phone. I bring it everywhere with me, so just call me."
Yeah,
same.
That's one of my favorite things that ever happened to me on tour was I got a tweeter. I'm on the tweeter every now and then, and I tweeted about duck blinds. Like I was bored at the Potomac River. Probably should have been practicing a little harder, but I was throwing some comedy out there for the folks. But I said, man, I'll drive 10 miles out of my way to fish one duck blind, ... and check it for snacks. Well, throw that out there into the atmosphere. I'm at the meeting and Jimmy walks up to me and goes, "Man, you got me with that duck blind thing the other day." And I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, on Twitter." And I'm like, "You follow me on Twitter?"
That's nuts, right?
What? Bizarro world, man.
So that's the point. Life paths are so unpredictable, man. It's like we have to embrace the path that we are put on and capitalize on it to the fullest. No doubt. I mean, dude, like 19-year-old Luke Dunkin, thought you were going to be the next Larry Nixon.
Absolutely.
Like that was 19-year-old Luke Dunkin. But a 37-year-old mature Luke Dunkin.
Careful. Careful.
With Starbright maturity.
Starbright maturity.
Is it Startron or Starbright?
It's both. It's both, man.
Startron, Starbright. It sounds very Jetson.
It is.
Yes.
It's very It's very George-esque.
I like it. No, not that Jetsons. Not moving on up Jetsons.
No, George Jetson.
Yes. Well, aren't they? Oh, George Jefferson.
Jetson.
I'm confused.
The
Yes.
Jetson.
Wheezy, give me some of that Starbright. Wheezy, where's my Starbright? Never mind. Anyway,
it's in the low budget live bar and grill.
There it is. I'm sure it is. Here's what I want to tell you, bud. You tackle shit head on. All right, and I admire that about you. The thing, and we've had this conversation many times before. You and myself, same thing. You know, here's the deal. On Brian's show, on the Ike Live show, you have a certain flavor. Okay, on the Straycast show, you have a certain flavor, and you, Luke Dunkin, have found your flavor in a true podcast form. All right. Now, I built the nucleus of this show based on morning zoo radio mixed with a little David Letterman, Johnny Carson.
Absolutely.
That was my goal. Those are my, you know, with Howard Stern meets Johnny Carson meets David Letterman, my idols. That are my influences, let's say. You are an avid podcast listener, like Rogan, like a true podcast, man. And what you have been able to do, and the whole thing, let's not sugarcoat this, because you say it's low budget live, but there's a lot that goes into your show, dude. I mean, let's not BS. You care, okay? You do care about this project.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like, all right, you do have nice equipment, you got some stuff. It's inexpensive live, is what it is. It's semi-inexpensive live.
It's medium budget.
It's middle class live.
Yes,
is what it is. Upper middle class live.
My wife, after I remodeled the garage to have the low budget bar and grill, would probably argue with you that it's a little more high budget live now than it used to be.
I saw the sign you got from one of your listeners too, and I was quite jelly.
Goodness, yeah, and it's in the house. Incredible. Yeah, metal sign.
That was very awesome, by the way. But here's the thing, man. In your true podcast form, what you were able to do is just kind of like turn it on and go. And not that there isn't preparation involved in your show, but I know from behind the scenes that like Ike Live is a produced show.
Yeah, for sure.
Brian goes through a bunch of things to bring the final outcome. Myself and Andy do the same thing here. And you do the same thing for Low Budget Live, but it's more of a turn it on and go. Now you have a topic. You always have.
I do. I do. I definitely. I mean, I prepare a little bit like that.
No, you do. You know. I know you.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I've got a. I mean, yeah. So this is. I'll breaking down the wall. Check this out.
Okay.
So I just went through. This is from December 15th to now. This is the low budget notebook. So these are the notes for every episode. Some of these could probably get me shot, to be honest.
Those are like John Lennon's notebook, actually.
Yeah. But I just had to switch over to a new notebook. But yeah, I'm old school. I write notes out. But
I do too, bro. I mean, here it is. I got the same deal. See?
Yeah. Well, for me, it's I'm so ADD that if I don't have just a basic form to follow, or because I'll think of something sitting on the couch, or I'll see something on TV or see something on, Instagram, whatever. And I'm like, I want to talk about that. And I'll type it in my phone. And if I don't write it out somewhat, I'll get to talking about God knows what,
right,
and never cover it. And then you do a weekly show. Once it's not topical anymore, it's not topical anymore. The wind blows the other way and you're like, well, shit, I can't talk about that next week.
Yeah. Nobody wants to hear that.
It's over. Yeah. So
and what's crazy, I found it, and not to go off topic, but too much, but like for example, Chris was just on, and it kind of went in a different direction than I had originally intended it to, and I mean it in a good way, and sometimes that happens.
And it's awesome when it happens.
I enjoy it and embrace it, absolutely, because I just got to hear a dude that going back to what you said, just a dude that loves bass fishing.
Absolutely.
Talk about what he loves. Okay.
Mhm.
You know, and that's the beauty of our niche industry, Luke Duncan.
For sure.
This is a tight-knit group of people. And if you're a douche, people know you're a douche. And if you're cool, people know you're cool. Okay. And what happens in the history of bass fishing is the douchey people kind of get hidden, or maybe not talked about, or maybe protected, or maybe brushed to the side because other people don't want to be embarrassed by their actions. But here, I never, ever, and I'm speaking on myself, I never, ever, with any intention, ever had anything but the intentions of doing a show to entertain people and make people laugh and smile. That's my goal in life. That's what I get off on, okay? And I'm doing it with bass fishing, and I love it. Thank God for you, because you tackle this stuff head on. You don't let the people hide anymore, Luke Duncan. They can't hide from you.
Well,
I love it.
Well, I appreciate that, and it just, my thing is, and I think why it works for me is, and you know me off the air. You've known me for a few years now, man, and I feel like what I am on the air is what I am if we're sitting around,
100%,
drinking a beer.
100%, bro. 100%.
And I feel like people, and you're the same way. Like what you're seeing right here is Pat most of the time, unless I've never seen him sleep. I don't want to see him sleep. But
thank you.
I mean, I feel like he's probably not. You may be keyed up in your sleep,
dude. I
do
talk in my sleep.
Figure you do.
I guess
I do too. But I think for me, it's and the reason people are drawn to you, people are drawn to Mike and Brian and Braz and those guys. It's the same. It's this transparency of just you. It's a hang. You're telling them your life, and when I say this all the time, but my show is very therapeutic for me because I can tell my wife 100 things I have going in my life. She hears it all the time. She's a great listener. She's my best friend. But when I get to just hit record and go, whether that was when I lost my mom last fall, right. I can't tell you. That was one of that's the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life.
I couldn't imagine.
And talking about it the week after on air, and didn't really mean to. Like I honestly, like I wasn't even going to record. I'm like, I'm not going to record for a while. And I did it. And the amount of comments, people like, hey man, that happened to my dad. Hey, that's my mom. Hey, my aunt. Hey, I've got cancer. It helped me get through that because everybody comes to your side right when the news breaks about something like that, right? In life, and you're busy and you're planning the events that take place after someone passes, and you go through all that, and then everybody just has to go back to normal life. But you're left with the pieces.
Yeah, you got
to try, and it's me and my dad and my children and my wife and my nieces and my sister-in-law. And you're just trying to figure out, like, where do we go from here? This main person in our life, and I found out through talking about that on the show, man, it was really therapeutic. And then I lost my grandfather last fall, and I did a tribute to him, and you see how people react, man. That it helps them too.
Yeah.
And that means, and I know that I get a lot of flack and I get a lot of credit for calling things out as I see them. But for me, it's just hitting record and dealing with things, man. And I feel like people now more than ever have a right to know.
They sure do.
I feel like our industry is so small, and I feel like it's always been smoke and mirrors. Whether that's from a sponsor standpoint, like you were talking about 19-year-old me. 19-year-old me thought the streets were paved with gold, dude.
That's right.
If you make the Bassmaster top 150 at the time, here's your keys to your new boat in the check, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
With a rip, who was the guy that threw the confetti? at you that was in Wayne's World. Forget his name. The bucket of confetti on your head. Oh yeah, here you go.
Rip Taylor. Rip Taylor. Yeah.
Rip Taylor.
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 19-year-old me thought it was that way, and it's very much not that way. Now, is it an amazing industry? 1,000% best place that I'll ever be. But I feel like we do a lot of fans a disservice by kind of hiding some of the things that go on. And so that's when I just started talking about things openly. And look, my opinions are my opinions. I say this all the time too. I don't say them because I think they're right. I say it just to get it off my chest. Now, a lot of the things I do say may or may not be pretty damn factual most of the time too. But I don't say it because I think it makes me sound smart. That's not why I do it. I just say it to get off my chest. And I think people have a right to know, and I feel like people respond to that,
Dude, absolutely. And again, it's the fact that you're able to bring that to the limelight. That's the niche, or to the forefront. Let's say that I believe is your niche. The whole thing with the shifting of the leagues.
Yeah.
You give your opinion on it as well. You told what you knew. You gave all the facts to the people from what you knew to be factual, and you let people make a fair assessment,
Yeah, present the facts. And I feel like, because people say, oh, well, this is some of my favorite commentary. You didn't make it with a rod and reel, so now you run your mouth about, the guys that do blah, blah, that kind of shit. What? And I'm like, oh, got me. Like, obviously, I didn't catch them like I wanted to. That's why I host a podcast now. I didn't win the classic, guys. We all know that. But my thing is, with that is I feel like I am qualified, just such as yourself, you're plugged into the industry. I feel like I'm qualified to talk about it for various reasons. Like I did, especially everything that's gone on FLW, MLF, and Bass. I have fished Bass. I have fished FLW. I fished FLW several years. I fished it right up until all this happened. And I happened to work in the industry for a company that sponsors a lot of. I see what's going on all the time
in the mix,
and it ruffles feathers. But there are a lot of people that aren't fans, but there are several that seem to enjoy my antics. And as long as they keep tuning in, I'll keep pressing record.
Exactly, dude. I mean, and if there ain't nobody hating on you, you're not doing something right. So
I had a guy this week, and I the term hater makes me feel like I'm P. Diddy a little bit, Biggie Smalls. But a friend of mine was actually a sponsor of mine, good friend at StarTron, as a matter of fact, this week said he had read something, somebody had posted something about me, whatever, and he came across it somehow, and he goes, dude, it made me laugh so hard. This guy was giving you a hard time, and he said, you know how I know you've made it? And I said, well, damn sure not my bank account, and he's like, when you got haters, man, you've made it. He's like, when people are posting about you on forums and you're living rent-free in their head, you've made it to some extent.
Yeah.
So I guess here we are.
Exactly. I mean, it's like, and I love it. I think and there was what's great is that the haters actually take time to hate. That's the funny part.
Yeah, dude. I had a guy a couple weeks ago that I try not to even address that crap, because Fat Cat Newton said this on my podcast the other day. He said it's really true. We tend to go to a negative comment, right? You'll ignore 50 positive ones in a row.
Sure.
But that one negative one you'll focus in on, right? It's just human nature. And he said, you owe it to the people that are positive to not even interact with the one negative. But I had one a couple weeks ago. This guy says, you're going to fail this NPFL thing. You suck. You're this, you're that. And I said, wow, man, I really appreciate the fact that you took time out of your day to not only watch my video, but also comment how terrible of a failure I am, how much of a failure. He goes, hey man, I didn't watch your video. And I was like, even better. You sought it out just to comment? Like, geez,
That guy's
dude,
awesome.
I wish I had that kind of time on my hands.
Put more lipstick on up in your bedroom, buddy. You know?
Puts the lotion on.
That's the whole deal, dude. I mean, you cover it like it is. I mean, the whole thing where you where you broke the news about what Skeet Reese's name really meant. Everybody was shocked on that. The whole thing. I mean, and then the next episode you come out with the whole controversy. What happened?
I feel like my phone right now on this tripod is blowing up with Skeet texting me going, "What'd you say about my name?" Swear to God, Skeet. I didn't.
I like Skeet. I'll tell you a funny thing.
I do too. I like Skeet.
So one time, it was and I'll be real quick about this. Me, Cliff Crochet, Brian the Carpenter, Mike Iaconelli, and Cliff Crochet kept crank calling Skeet Reese. It was.
Oh God.
There may or may not have been whiskey involved for that Cajun. Just say.
What kind of whiskey was it, Pat?
I don't. It was tin cup whiskey. Thank you very much. The best part of waking up is coffee in your tin cup. Isn't that a slogan or something? I don't know. Dude,
I think so.
More controversy. You got a big episode coming up. I'm not going to tell too many people too much, but there's some stuff going on. Keep on the lookout for some let's call it shocking LBLs.
Or dirt, a little bit of dirt.
A little bit of dirty.
A little bit of dirt.
A little bit of dirt. And man, everybody, if you do not already, and I say this like weirdly, if you don't already listen to Luke's podcast, please do so. Like, that was weird to say.
Thank you.
That was weird to say, but please.
They're not all listening, man. I think that's what's crazy in this industry because, there are several podcasts out there. And especially, I feel like with when COVID came into our lives, it was like, you get a podcast.
Yeah.
And you get a podcast.
What the hell?
Oh, hey, guys, check me out live tonight with my interview with blah, blah, blah. I'm like, damn, everybody's interviewing fishermen.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing in the world to do.
Apparently so. All you got to do is turn your cell phone on and
that's it.
And talk to fishermen about slip sinker sizes, braided line.
What kind of bobber stops do you like when you're flipping, Ricky?
Yeah.
I say that to say that you do have a different audience than I do at times, I believe, and I know that all the other shows do too, and we cross-pollinate some, right? Because
Sure.
I get guys that comment about you guys, and you get guys that comment about me, and vice versa. But there's definitely enough to go around.
Yeah, there's an old and I thanked Mark Zona for this last time he was on the show, and there's an old John Mellencamp album, Luke, that on the sleeve, John Mellencamp fakes the Rolling Stones. He says, "Thanks for the living room, Mick and Keith," because. They left a little living room, didn't they? You know what I mean?
They did.
And that's the same thing. There's plenty of, exactly. There's plenty of living room for all of us here.
Of course,
or
man.
Most of us.
Yeah. Most of us.
My advice to people that I always give when they might write me or ask me about podcasts, I just say, don't suck. Don't suck.
Seems simple enough.
Yeah, just don't. If you're going to do a podcast, don't suck. And
And you guys were at the very first. I say you guys, the whole Straight Cast crew. You remember the very first ever low budget live ever that we recorded into a cell phone.
Yes.
With some shitty music equipment, and it went to Instagram Live and was gone the next day.
It was
we were like, hell yeah!
Dang
high
it,
five, boys!
It's somewhere
and we
up
did
there.
that for almost 2 years, man. Like idiots. And like, hey, maybe we should start recording some of these. That would be a good idea. So wasting all this time.
Hey, you're on to a next chapter, bro. You are now going to be even a bigger mouth and a sports broadcaster. Because let's face it, this is a sport, and 10-year-old Luke Dunkin and 19-year-old Luke Dunkin, now 37-year-old Luke Dunkin, the broadcaster. What the world? What do you think of those yapkas? Yapkas is apples in Polish. What do you think of those
I'll
apples?
dude. I had those guys on the show, and they reached out to me a couple weeks after, and I really thought they were joking. I was like, yeah, fun joke, guys. I mean, they text me, Big Al, the NPFL, he text me, would you be interested in having a conversation? I was like, LOL, winky face, like, huh, great times. And they're like, who are you really talking to? And we ended up, we talked, and man, it's something, you know, I did it with FLW a few times. I did the commentary, and it actually is something, and I've been fortunate enough, Zona and Mercer got me down when the elites were on Wheeler the year that Takahiro won. I got to do some Bass Live spots.
Yeah, I remember, sure.
Yeah, and man, I really enjoyed the production of it, and you know, just how it all worked. And then last year I was fortunate enough I did the BFL All-American every day with FLW.
I remember the takeover. I remember the Dunkin takeover. Yeah.
Yeah. Me, Chris Jones, and Travis. And it was, man, it's a lot of work. And I have a lot of respect for the people that do it. It's a lot of work, but man, I left there and I told my wife, I said, man, that could be something I could really get into. Like I really enjoyed it. Just because, dude, we talk about fishing every week, but to watch it go down and be able to talk about it as it happens live, it's pretty, you know, it's pretty fun. And getting to throw things out there in the dead spots just to kind of see what sticks. Like that, I really enjoyed that too. And I think that that next year, that's going to be the coolest thing for me is we are all entering this together, from the anglers at NPFL to the ownership to myself and Fat Cat. It's all new, man. It's fresh powder to ski, dude.
Exactly.
And it's like, you know, Zona does this, and this is what the guys at FLW do, and Marty sells his water. And
trolls live under bridge. You know what else live under bridges? Bass. Our anglers are fishing under bridges. Luke, do you like bridges for bass fishing?
He wears nice suits, but everybody kind of does their own thing. And, you know, you may compare us to what's going to happen, you know, or what already happens with those other guys, but we're just going to be ourselves. And that was the number one thing that the guys from the NPFL told me, was they just want me to be Luke.
Be Luke. Be Dunkin. Be Dunkin.
And I know how to do that. So for better or worse, boys, here we go.
Yeah, and you got a little partner in crime coming to talk with you on the old Nipfel on the old Nipfel
Nipfel.
Yeah, on the old Nipfel, and you're talking with another mouth of the industry. So you got two mouths, and right now, are we ready, Andrew? Ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you Fat Cat Newton right now.
Yeah!
Yeah!
Howdy!
Yeah! That's how you do this. Look at you guys. Look at you.
What's up, buddy?
Look at you two. Look at you, broadcasting team.
I mean, one of the more polished ones probably in professional sports history.
Yes.
I think.
Can I request one formal broadcast out of the season where you guys do like an old ABC Sports throwback, like gold jackets, you know what I'm talking about, like you and Fat Cat got the
Wild
gold
World of Sports.
Yeah, dude, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, Fat Cat? You digging it? Oh, unmute your thing, Fat Cat.
Well, I've been trying to talk for the past 45 minutes. Y'all got me?
Hey, we got you now.
There's Bobby.
Listen, so apparently you guys haven't heard, every tournament is going to have a theme to it.
Oh.
So, like, we're going to do one. Oh, yeah, ABC back. Yeah, hey, wrestling, dropping the elbow, coming off the top rope. I'm talking about face mask, face paint, everything. We're going to be having, like, the whole, I want you. Everybody's going to be calling everybody out, steel cage match.
Throwing chairs. Yeah.
Hey, wall-to-wall treetop tall, so I'm psyched.
I like it. Hey, well, I got you. What exactly does wall-to-wall treetop tall mean?
When you're built like this, man, wall-to-wall treetop tall, I'm 6'4", 400 pounds, and I'm just a big dude. Wall-to-wall treetop. What kind of question is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, Pat. Pat, get off my dude, Pat.
I never put it
raise
together.
up.
Yeah, we're a team. We're a team, Pat.
Yeah.
You think of wall-to-wall, treetop tall. A lot of times, I can't get into places because.
Oh, so you're the wall-to-wall treetop tall.
Jeez, man.
If
anybody got any crowns, like we just draw it out. Like.
That's what you learn on bass fishing talk shows. No one ever knew that until today.
That's the kind of knowledge we're bringing you at National Professional Fishing League. Yeah, right?
And
what more do you need to tune in?
And dude, I mean, I think that I don't know what the heck the NPFL is gonna bring. I'm excited for it. I think that it's at a perfect time in professional bass fishing, and who better than you two clowns to do that? I mean, that's the deal, man. It's gonna be. I'm gonna tune in just for fun stew and giggles dumplings. You know what I mean? That's
no doubt.
That sounds delicious. No, bring some of that with you when you come.
Yes, please.
Dude, we're going to have Vienna sausage booths set up. We're going to have all kind of stuff going on, dude.
Yoo-hoo fountains. Yes.
Airbrush.
Breakfast.
Henna tattoos.
Every angler for breakfast gets a can of Viennas and Yoo-hoo. And that's the boom. Before you launch.
That's amazing.
Down the gullet.
And then there's like a fudge fountain and a biscuit and gravy fountain at every pre-tournament meeting.
Sure.
Yes.
Fudge fountain's about a half hour after takeoff.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Fat Cat, I noticed the other day on your social media, and I mean this sincerely, as we say on Stray Cast here. I liked how you were practicing to be a broadcaster. I liked it.
I don't know what you're thinking bringing me on, dude, if I'm being honest. I don't even know what I'm doing. I just give me a microphone, put me in one direction, and tell me what's up, and hope for the best. I got to get my life right, man. I'm trying to spit that fire and get my ladies and gentlemen, get me to the stage or whatever, or just not making myself look stupider than I normally do.
Well,
back to you, Luke. He said on the LBL the other day, he's like, I don't really know what I'm trying to say. So whatever. And I was like, that's how every segment's going to go.
Yeah.
Between you and I'm going to be like, damn, he was supposed to talk for 3 minutes. Back to you, Luke.
And now back to you. And Duncan's still at the Yoo-hoo fountain. You're at the Yoo-hoo.
I'll be like, what? Oh. Sorry, guys.
All right. So, let's do a scenario here. And now, Ginge, you got anything back there that might be good background broadcasting music? Do you have anything like that?
Ah, gosh.
Yeah. do you have anything, Ginger, back there?
Do I have any? I don't have any. I'm in my garage. I don't have any.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the inaugural National Professional Fishing League event. We are proud to introduce to you your broadcasters. For the first time in bass fishing history, a dynamic duel, an ambiguously bass duo. These two right here, Fat Cat Newton and Luke Dunkin. Luke, give me pretend that nobody else is listening right now, Luke. And Luke,
okay.
So pick an NPFL angler.
Let's go with Skeeter Fowler.
What's his name? Skeeter what?
Skeeter Fowler. My favorite name.
Skeeter.
On tour.
Skeeter Power?
Skeeter Fowler. Fowler. Get it right, Pat.
Skeeter Fowler. Okay. It looks like as we catch up with Skeeter Fowler in the back of Possum Creek, he's up by 3 pounds. This tournament will make or break his career. Let's send it to Fat Cat Newton, who's in the backwaters of Possum Creek. Fat Cat, what's going on there with Skeeter?
Hey, Bobby, appreciate you passing it all so smoothly. Listen, Bobby is back here, cold straight, whacking them. He's fishing a wind-blown secondary point. He's fishing a beaver hut in about 455 foot of water. If I'm not mistaken, looks like he is drop-shotting. Yeah, he's definitely drop-shotting a 8-arm Alabama rig with, it seems to, what is that? Hold on. Back to you.
Luke Dunkin back in the studio.
Well, we seem to have lost Fat Cat's feed. Fat Cat, we're not sure what happened with Fat Cat there, but as you guys heard, Skeeter Fowler definitely drop shot in that Alabama rig using 6-pound line. And Skeeter's sponsored by Vienna Sausage that Fat Cat actually hooked him up with. We know that's nepotism, but we apologize in advance, guys, for that.
Now here's a Vienna Sausage
Back to you, Fat Cat.
move of the day.
Yes.
Coming to you live with the Vienna Sausage power move of the day. Skeeter Fowler just boat flipped a 7.5-pound bluegill right into the boat. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean to tell you what, this guy's been fighting tooth and nail all day long, and this could be the one that puts him over the limit. Back to you, Bobby.
Right there.
Well, I think it works.
Yeah. And now a word from our sponsors, Milk of Magnesia. You guys are knocking it out.
Hey, man, we got to practice once or twice before March.
Just twice.
We'll figure it out.
Twice.
We'll figure it out.
Twice. So what I think that the whole point of this is that, as you know, Luke Dunkin, as being a former professional bass fisherman, that everything is. You look amazing. Amazing hair, by the way, there, Fat Cat.
Hey, look at this mullet, buddy.
Dude, I'm serious.
Look at this. That's a real deal mullet, buddy.
Both of you
I
guys.
cut it myself, too.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like that. Good job, buddy.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that you didn't let Gerald Swindle cut it with his ball throw, the ball throw trimmer. That's what he used on John Cox.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I saw that.
Don't do that.
Somebody said he trimmed the hairs on the back of James Watson's neck with his teeth.
Whoa.
That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
That was on vacation.
That's some low budget live stuff right there. Some nuggets.
Hey, so anyway, as broadcasters, you got to think on your toes, right? Because I mean, these are exercises in futility, right? You know what that means? Exercises in futility. So
I don't think
sounds delicious.
I don't even know if I'm saying
not fertility.
Fertility.
Exercise in fertility.
In exercises in potency. That's what we're talking about right now. So I am exactly. Save the whales, kill the seals. All right there. So I'm going to ask you guys a little a roundabout group of questions here, and feel free to chime in at your at your convenience. So the first question that I will then ask to Luke Dunkin. Luke, if you could fix professional bass fishing, how would you fix professional bass fishing?
Oh, dear God.
Glad he got that question.
Back to you, B.
Luke, how would you fix professional bass fishing?
You want me? I mean, here's the thing. Here's how I'm going to fix it.
Okay.
Here's how I'm going to fix it. It's very simple, but very complex. Here's how I'm going to fix it.
Talk to me.
Honestly, here's truly how I think you can fix professional bass fishing. I think that we do have to get to a point where the entry fees are a lot lower at every level for a lot of people.
Okay.
And that is one thing that I applauded the VPT for doing, but I also said it wasn't feasible, and it proved to not be because now they're paying entry fees.
Right.
But I do think we've got to get to that point where you don't have to pay as much to fish at that level of professional fishing. Like that's something that I've been passionate about for a very long time, But a lot of pros are like, we want high payouts and we don't pay anything. Well, that's just not feasible because we're not the PGA Tour. But that is how I think you would fix a lot of issues.
So if there was a huge sponsor with gigantic money that allowed no entry fees and anglers to fish as true professionals without worrying about having to pay for the derb, is that sound good to you, Fat Cat?
Yeah, I mean, what aspect are you trying to fix in fishing? Are you trying to fix, like, from the viewer's aspect or internally? Like, what's going on as far as just,
that's open to interpretation, obviously.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
don't know. There are several issues that could be addressed, but
no
as far
doubt.
as from a spectator's point of view, I love the live streaming, dude. I just want to see the live streaming go further, easily accessible. The live streaming is the future. I think it's really I don't even watch, like, back in the day, okay, well, it's 2 Saturdays after the tournament on Lay Lake.
Yeah.
And then, well, not
Yeah,
anymore.
of
Now you get to
course.
watch it day of. So I love that aspect. But as far as, it sounds, I don't know if it's good or not, man. Players union, like a fisherman's, we need a situation to where if we want the sport to get bigger and better, I think we have to do a better job of coming together and work together instead of working against each other.
Okay.
I see that being an issue within the industry. That's probably our biggest issue is
I agree
not
with
working
that.
together.
Great answer. I think
We
that's
all
a great
come together
answer.
and, yeah, man, preserve the future of the sport. Because if we keep doing the things we've been doing the past several years, the future is grim. We really got to come together and lift each other up instead of trying to put each other down.
That's a great
It's
answer.
a very
AFC,
individual, very individual-based sport, obviously. So you don't want to share with a guy what you're making at a sponsor or your views on things because you're afraid somebody might slide in and try to get what you're getting. I mean, it's been the history, the entire history of the sport's been that way. And like Fat Cat saying, if there was some way to have some kind of organization where you could actually get together, make some decisions based as a group, you might have more power over some of the organizations that just say,
Stand
hey,
up,
guys, this is what you're going to do. You're going to enjoy it. Oh, we're not doing that anymore. Here's the new shit we're doing. Oh,
By the
guess
way,
what? Next week, here's the other new shit you're going to do.
Yeah.
And good luck.
Dude, at the end of the day, our sport, out of a lot of sports, it's very fragile, if you will, because our anglers are making money to jam steel in the face of a living creature, right?
Right.
So we have to be very delicate in how we showcase this to the world, to new viewers, so on and so forth. So with that being said, we can't afford to be fighting each other or arguing with each other. We have to protect the sport because we are vulnerable if you look at the mindset of the country and the direction we're going with everybody being so sensitive and being woke on certain things. But at the end of the day, we're jamming steel in fish's faces. So we just have to keep that in mind and try to keep the fires down around the house and focus on the goal. And the goal is to preserve the sport.
There it is, dude. I like that.
That guy Newton.
Hey, that's a nice side of you. I just want to say that. I mean that.
Don't get used to it, pal.
Okay, well, I like it. I think I want more of that. I'll be honest with you. I want more of that. Now, Luke, I want to ask you, name a TV show that was influential to you as a person. Now, a fishing show, and then let's talk a regular show. So a fishing show that was influential, the Luke Dunkin, and then a fishing or a TV show that was influential to you as a person.
I would say fishing shows, TNN Bassmasters, Bob Cobb. Like I spent as much time watching that and taping that on a VCR at my folks' house, every time it came on. Now I will say that, and then the early FLW, like the 90s FLWs with Jerry McInnes. Fishing wise, that era right there, really fishing wise. And as far as an influential show, man, I won't say I've been influenced, but I'll say just like as far as a fan of, just because I'm goofy, like to laugh, whatever. I gotta go like The Office.
Okay, I like that.
Stuff like that for me. Yeah, I love that deadpan. I love that stuff.
Sure, I'm with you. What about you, Fat Cat?
As far as like regular TV show that I've kind of like made the character of Fat Cat from, like I used to really watch this dude a lot with Jimmy Big Time. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jimmy Big Time.
Okay.
Are you familiar with it at all?
I really am not. No.
Get your life right. YouTube it, Google it, whatever it is.
Okay.
He did a few seasons, but it's one of the best shows ever, dude. Jimmy Big Time.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, dude. And like Luke was saying, man, the early TNN, Bassmaster, yeah, crazy. Dude. Bass Pros, man. The Bass Pros.
That was, yeah, bud.
Yeah, dude. And then Mark Zona's show. I honestly, when I started Fat Cat, I actually probably within the year of starting it, I quit watching Mark Zona. Because I was afraid I was going to steal his stuff or act like him subconsciously, you know what I mean?
I get that.
So much, so I don't watch Zona anymore. If I see him on Bassmaster, but like his shows and stuff, I'm so afraid of getting accused of stealing somebody's stuff by accident because you you'll see something now 8 months later. I get this great idea, man. What if I start calling official slaunch? You know, I thought of this. It's a slaunch. And I think I created slaunch, but Zona and Chad Grigsby did it.
Yeah, and then you'll end up like Dane Cook.
Yeah. Using other people's jokes. Exactly. Ryan
Or
Whitaker's
Carlos
in the house.
Mencia.
Hey, what's up?
Ryan Whitaker made it, by the way. Yes. Hey,
Trailer Gremlins.
So for me, it was Bill Dance. Bill Dance was the first
Best bloopers ever, dude. The bloopers, shut your mouth.
That was the first fishing show, and then Three's Company. Those
come in, knock on the door,
dude. Those babes, all the blondes in Three's Company, shaped my life. Shaped my life.
Chrissy.
Luke, have you ever felt music? Have you ever felt music?
Oh,
Are you talking about his cousin named Music?
Yeah. My cousin lives about 15 minutes from here named Music. No, I've never felt music. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a total hippie statement, but that a lot of people might not get. Yeah, man. Yeah, every day.
Yeah,
every day.
And you don't have to be on LSD to
No.
It helps.
It helps with like the Grateful Dead and whatnot, but
but you can feel music
for sure
because it evokes emotions, right?
Absolutely.
It evokes emotions.
Big time, man.
What is a bit of music that you have felt or evokes emotion for you, Luke Dunkin? Besides a Luke Dunkin song, of course.
Besides Biloxi Blues, dude, for me, it just depends on. It totally depends on the day. I listen to so many different things, and I have so many favorite songs, but there are certain songs in my life that mean different things for different times that I've gone through, that they'll pop up and you're like, damn, and it pulls a different emotion. But as far as just like a song for me that is as perfect of a song, a rock song, like if Aliens came down and said, hey, dude, play us a rock song, play us the song, I'm playing a Whipping Post by the damn Allman Brothers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's like, dude, that is for me. I mean, the story behind it's crazy. Like it's all, but that song is just like, and not the bullcrap 4-minute version. Give me the Fillmore East, like 22-minute.
That's what
like
I'm
the
saying.
Aliens are going to have to sit there and take their shoes off, kick back and stay a while, but we're going to listen to the entire Fillmore East version.
I like that you
Whipping
said
Post
that. That's awesome. How about you, Fat Cat? What song do you get feelings
I'm
from?
a gorger, right? So like I'll go through these stages where I'll just find something and listen to it over and over and over and over. Like a few months ago, it was Jelly Roll's "Save Me." I don't know if you guys heard that. That song is just, I don't know. "Save Me" by Jelly Roll is ridiculous. "Bluebird" by Miranda.
Great song.
She did an acoustic.
Great song.
Hey, she did an acoustic on her front porch. First of all, she's fire. That song,
Yeah.
God, Lord have mercy. But no, that song, and then here recently, dude, I'll be in a mood or I'll just need the motivation to get up and go. Stevie Ray Vaughan, "Crossfire."
Oh yeah.
Dude, love me some Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah,
But yeah,
dude.
man, all over the place, brother.
So if there was no such thing as like copyright infringements or whatever, and you were coming out to a song on the NPFL, let's say you're doing the weigh-in, bro, and what's the song that Fat Cat flies out on the ropes over the stage with? You know, what's the song, dude?
Born of the USA, Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude.
Gotcha.
Just hit him, dude.
Yeah,
That's always
dude.
to be a crowd pleaser.
Can you wear like little cut off booty shorts too? Fringy
Dude, I can
little
wear
Daisy
the
Dukes?
My American flag thong backwards. We
Yes.
can do it, man.
Yes, and work
That's-
boots.
I know you like that.
I love
I know
it.
you like the pictures I send you.
Dude, thank you. Thank you, by the way.
That's a blue jeans white T-shirt song.
Hey, I want to talk. I want to talk more music. Luke Dunkin, what is an album or a CD that defines you?
That defines me.
That
Oh my goodness.
defines you, man. Like your anthemic CD or album. It's like, man, these guys wrote this freaking album about me. The whole damn thing.
Color
The drive-by-
bad.
Color.
I want to sex you up.
Dude, get out of my head. Get out of my head. Dude, so
I was thinking
this
Forever in
album-
Blue Jeans. Forever in Blue Jeans.
I mean, everybody really they think I'm a country nut, and I do like country, like a lot of country. But the album, like the one album that really, I won't say like it changed my life, it changed how I looked at music, and really how I looked at a lot of things because these guys are so honest. Is the Drive By Truckers album, The Dirty South.
Oh, okay,
Like
gotcha.
that album that's always in my top 5. But that album like really changed the way I looked at songwriting and storytelling, and that you can just say it. They're like the southern version of Springsteen. I always said if they lived in a more populated area, they weren't from Green Hill, Alabama, Rogersville, Alabama, Florence, Alabama, that they were somewhere like the Boss, he's from New Jersey, that they would have been so big just because their songs were like Bruce's in that they resonated with the working guy and that kind of stuff.
I can see that.
But it was just it's about, where I grew up basically. So yeah, that album for sure.
Gotcha.
If I would be one of mine for sure.
Is there an anthemic Fat Cat album?
A what?
Is there like an album? Is it like, what's your album, bro? Like what? I mean, what's that CD that's always constantly in the truck, bro?
Two of them that I've always had a mixture of has the Jodeci, come and talk to me. I really want to meet you. Can I talk to you? That one, and then the other one was that I always had back in the day was a Too Short.
Oh yeah.
Get in where you fit in, fool. You was a marked up at the high school. Now you're hardcore like CB4. Fighting what you want to be me for. It's your life. Yeah. Whereas my wife probably at the rehab stuck on the pipe because she must be smoking, and I'm not joking. Too Short, baby, coming straight from Oakland. So yeah, I'm all over the place, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
That's awesome. That's it, dude. I mean, I like that. See, this is how we learn about anglers. All right, and here probably is the toughest question of the evening, and I give it to Fat Cat Newton. Being a 2-time Bassmaster Classic winner, I want to know. And
same year, Pat.
I forgot. Sorry.
Same year.
Sorry, Lou.
Oh, you
sorry.
trying to steal my thunder, dude? You want to start our career like this? You steal my thunder?
So,
dude, I gave you the best intro you've ever had on my podcast. Now you're gonna give me this shit?
I appreciate it.
Hey, I mean, like, dude, I have to ask you. In winning 2 classics, you might not have any, but what's your biggest regret as a pro bass fisherman, Fat Cat? What's your biggest regret?
Oh man, the biggest regret as a pro bass angler is throwing the towel in. You know what I mean? I should have just stayed in it.
Yeah.
After I won that second one in '87, I just figured, hey man, what's there left to do? You know what I mean? I gave it. I threw in the towel and I got back into dancing. And when I got into dancing, I lost both of my knees.
Yeah.
Both of my left knees.
It was a tough time. It was a tough time.
Yeah,
and
that
breaking
was
into those
hard for me.
warehouses at night, breaking into the warehouses and dancing secretly, that was tough for you.
Big part of my life was dancing. I got actually my kneecap is an elephant ankle. I had it replaced. So ever since then, I've been good.
So your biggest regret is
that rolled off good though. It's elephant ankle. Yeah. I'm gonna start using that.
Yeah. You have he has an elephant ankle knee. That's it. Oh, it's one of the best knees ever.
Winning the classics. What was it for me? And then
that was your biggest regret, was winning the classics?
Both of them, because everybody's hating me.
Your biggest
really
regrets?
Ruined his fishing career.
Kind of messed things up.
Honestly.
Yeah, look where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Hanging out with Luke Dunkin.
Fat Cat Newton, one word that describes the National Professional Fishing League. One word. Luke Dunkin, one word that describes the National Professional Fishing League.
Ballsy.
Ooh, I like, yeah.
Fat Cat Newton, one word that describes the National Professional Fishing League.
Transparent.
Ballsy? Transparent balls.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Basically.
I really, out of all of this going on, whether I get fired in the first tournament or whatever, I really would like to be as transparent as possible. And I messed up on Luke's, when I did Luke's podcast, that was trash. No, I felt like I was just, I had people hitting me up like, oh, Fat Cat, it's okay. we got to talk about being fat. I was like, oh, you're fat.
Dude,
Oh, you
look.
are? I know, but it was just weird. Like I felt I don't get like that. You know
Give
what
the
I mean?
host some credit, dude. I
You
pulled
did
it
a
out of
great
you.
job. You
Give
steered
the
it
host
right.
some credit.
Wow.
Not a big fan of that, but yeah, dude. I said I want to make sure the anglers are happy. Then I got to thinking, dude. Like 6 months ago, I wasn't worried about the anglers being happy because I was a spectator, and all I cared about was the spectators being happy. So like my goal is to find that happy medium to where I can bring that connection, that shock value, because people are expecting me to talk trash about the guys that are fishing, not like malicious trash, but they want to see me spice it up.
Sure. Okay.
Spice it up. A little spicy. So I want to make sure that I keep the people watching, tuning in, entertained, yet the anglers on the water, you know, borderline of fishing and wanting to kill me. Like, I just want to find that happy medium of entertaining and not a nuisance to the anglers. That makes sense. Am I making sense?
Even though I do feel like with our coverage team, Fat Cat, that when a dude loses a 5-pounder, like I need you to be like, did that suck? I mean, like that's the kind of coverage I want.
If it's
like
like
man,
Chris,
I bet you wish that hadn't happened.
If it's Chris Canute or like Sheldon Collins, I'm going to do it, dude. I'll lose my mind. Because I feel like I'm cool with those guys, and if not, I could probably take both of them. So either way,
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
But a whole new world, a whole new adventure. It's like Aladdin for
It
you
is.
guys. It's like
Who's Jasmine?
Fat Cat. Yeah. And,
Okay.
Yeah. And
Who's
you-
rubbing the genie? Yeah.
And you're the magic carpet, Luke. You are the magic
For
carpet.
sure. For sure.
Dude, I'm excited for you guys, man. I am. Hey,
Don't
Fat Cat.
patronize us, Pat.
No,
Don't patronize us.
My name's Pat.
Don't even do it.
It's called patronizing. It's called.
Pat.
My name's Pat. Hey, take your head off
No,
again.
dude.
No, dude, it is. It's kind of Shaw Grisby-ish. It's very Shaw.
It's luscious, man.
I like it. I like
Bro.
it. It's kind of Grigsby cut. Shaw's hair.
Now, do I leave this on, or what do I do for
Yes.
Yeah, let it grow.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
listen,
Absolutely.
I haven't ran this by the guys at NPFL, but Fat Cat, I think we roll up just straight mullets at
Yeah.
the first tournament,
Are
buddy.
we supposed
Benson
to
don't
run stuff
care.
by the
Paul
guys
Benson.
in-
No,
You could come
I
out.
made that up. I
I
made that
didn't
up.
know that. Dude. All right.
So here's the first ensemble, wardrobe ensemble. Network jacket,
Yes.
no shirt, a tie, and just a sock.
Kilt.
A sock under the kilt.
Yeah.
How's that?
Red hot chili peppers in it.
That's
I
what I'm
like
talking about. Fleeing the whole thing. Right
Fleeing
there.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Get out there and run on our lips and shaking our hips, right?
Yeah. 100%. Hey, Fat Cat, you like the blues?
I'm a connoisseur of many different tastes of music.
Duncan, where's your guitar?
Oh.
Get your
Oh,
get
no.
an acoustic, Dunk. Get an acoustic.
Get an acoustic.
Yeah.
You gonna do a little something, Pat?
Yeah.
Get the harmonica?
You're gonna sing. You're gonna sing.
Oh.
That's probably not gonna work out too well.
So, Luke, give me something in A. Give me something in A. Just some blues in A.
I actually, hang on a second, Patty. I may be a step down.
Okay.
So your harmonica is not going to sound near as good. All right, now I'm in A.
All right. Give me a little bluesy blues in A. And you just hop in whenever you want, Fat Cat, and sing about the NPFL. All right.
Come over here. Oh. Low roller spinner bass cranking deep diving plugs. Fish is my addiction, that tug is my drug. Wake up in the morning with it on my brain. If I don't go soon, I'm gonna go insane. Hit me. Got no rhythm. Got no blues.
I want to tell you guys a story now. You ready? Well, I want to tell you a little story about two bass fishing broadcasters in a brand new league called the NPFL. They're gonna take the world by storm in the Bass Fishing League. Two broadcasters making history, one broadcast at a time. It's the Bass Fishing Galaxy, Fat Cat Newton, and Lou Dunkin. About to bring. He's on the ham bone.
Nobody's singing. You're good, Luke. You're done. We're done, buddy. We're done. All right.
Are we done?
There we go. That's it right there.
I can't.
Ladies and gentlemen,
you blew that harmonica. You just blew the speakers out. It was like being at like a Queen concert or something. Like this left ear, it just went out. So I have no idea what just happened.
you're not going to need that until the spring. You're fine. You're
That's
fine.
a fact.
You're fine. Hey,
Hey, Pat, have you ever had one of those out of body experiences when you were at a musical event, like playing music, where you just didn't even know what just happened?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
That's what just happened to me right there. Like I might as well have been Ronnie freaking Van Zant. Man.
Mission accomplished. Can we all do an internet high five together, please, guys?
Internet high five.
Thank you. I'm so looking forward to your guys' new adventure. Luke Dunkin, keep being straightforward. And both
Thank
of
you,
you,
buddy.
please keep your balls transparent, okay? That's the goal.
Always.
All right?
Sure.
Keep it transparent. All right?
Got to.
Dude. Hey, Luke, thanks, dude. Thanks, Luke Dunkin.
Hey, thank you guys for everything, always. Having me on, probably when you shouldn't have me on because nobody knows who the hell I am, and having me on now when nobody knows who the hell I am.
And Fat Cat, I want to thank you, Fat Cat, for the fact that that TH Marine has sponsored this show since day one.
Put a lot into that.
Yeah,
Put a
so
lot into that.
I want to thank you, Fat Cat, for that opportunity that you have given us through TH Marine to bring the Bass Fishing Galaxy this
if
Straight Cast
anybody
show.
out there is looking for TH Marine sponsorships, please contact Luke Dunkin.
Or it's Corey and Darian are taking the apps, I
Darian
believe.
and Corey.
Yeah,
Yes.
at Darian
TH
is
Marine
fishing.
is looking to bring on 500 pro snappers in the next half hour.
At Darian is fishing for all your resume requests. Just send them there.
Hey,
at Darian is fishing.
Hey, while we got you guys want to just while we have them here,
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, hey, let's give away. Hey, text. Can somebody text Andy? Text them the winner. Let's let. Hey, who wants to give? You want to give away some War Eagle spinner baits, Fat Cat?
Do you need my address for those?
Yeah. So we're gonna text you the winner's name, and then we're gonna give you a medieval fanfare for the announcement. Okay.
All
right. So are you giving them the randomizer? Putting it in the randomizer. Yeah. Okay. And who are you? Are you texting it the Fat Cat? All right. Andy's texting you the winner, Fat Cat.
Oh, here we go.
Yes. Okay.
Big P dog.
All right. All right. So ready? We're gonna give you a fanfare.
Do I say it now?
Yeah. Like be like fancy. Be like the winner. Come on, Andy, give it to him again.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Unbelievable. Unreal.
Are we doing this or what?
Give him the thing. Give him a drum roll now. A drum roll. All right. Fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone from all around the world, please get on your feet. Put your hands together and give a big warm congratulations for the man that has won a war, treetop tall. He is the undisputed winner for tonight on Street Cast. Corey Tucker. Corey Tucker, y'all get it.
I don't even know what name you said. Is Taku
Corey Tucker. Corey Tucker.
Corey?
Tory Tucker.
Tory Tucker.
Corey Tucker.
Tory
Tucker is a bad trucker, right?
Double T.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Corey.
Come on with
Tucker.
Tory
Tucker. Are you saying Panam?
It's T twice. Tory Tucker.
Tory Tucker's donkey review.
He won some War Eagles.
He won 50. Tory won $50 worth of War Eagle spinnerbait. So all you have to do is a private message, not you, Fat Cat.
Very private.
Very privately message the straight
most
cast.
private.
Yes, your most private
As private
of
as you can
messages.
be. Yes.
And Tory Tucker, we are the good people at War Eagle send you $50 worth of spinner bugs.
Proud of you, Tory. Good job, man. Hard work
You
pays
did.
off, buddy. You're living proof of it. Good job.
Tell all those people from high school you made it now, Tory.
Tory, you did
and when
it.
you send Pat that message, make sure you include your social security number and your address and maybe your driver's license number as well. That is needed for those War Eagle spinners.
He never quit.
Hey, Tory, follow Fat Cat Newton and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I haven't posted on in about 18 months.
There it is, right there.
I'll fire that back up.
Fired it up. Subscribe to
18
Fat
months
Cat's
from now.
deal. Listen to Low Budget Live. Look for the Boats and Thoughts. Boats and Thoughts is one of my favorite deals that you come out with yet. I love the thoughts that you have on the boat show.
Lots of thoughts, buddy.
Stop capping.
And Luke, I would like you to do me a favor, Luke.
What's that, buddy?
Since you are a bass fishing talk show host as well, I would like you to please close the Stray Cast show. And we'll be back next Wednesday at 7 Central. So if you could just please say goodbye to the Bass Fishing Galaxy for
Absolutely.
me. And all that good stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Stray Cast with Fat Cat Newton, Pat Renwick, the Ginger Ninja, Old Popcorn himself, and myself, Luke Dunkin. Hope you all have a great week. Be sure to hug your mama and your daddy, and we will see y'all next time.
There it is. Bass Fishing Galaxy, keep it proper. And the forest will echo with laughter. Peace.
How do I turn this off? Is it still on?